Thank you all so much for tuning in to this special edition of More Important Issues with Tennessee assistant baseball coach Ross Kivett. Now paid. He gets paychecks now. If you want to check the tax returns, we can do it. We always appreciate his time. He's given us a lot of it. He gives us a lot of it this time. I'm sure you've seen this, a 2.5-hour video. It was recorded late at night, so if we get a little delirious, bear with us. I greatly appreciate it. It's one of those we didn't expect to go this long, but he allowed us to just keep on yapping and keep the conversation going. So we did it. We do plan on, we have him committed on this video to coming on more throughout the season, so we can talk a little more baseball. We want to talk about this 2025 season, and we're really excited as we get to see the first pitch tonight against Hofstra. And we're excited to see Coach Kiv back with the Vols. And listen, I might have more faith in this team than Landon and Kiv. I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to see the game by game that we're going to do at the end of the season with him. So make sure you got to come back for that one too. Even if it's 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours long, you got to come back for it. That's the rules. Thank you all again for tuning in. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. You're following us on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, Facebook, whatever your preferred platform. But make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube so you can see all these great episodes, whether it be with Ross Kivett. We had Tanner Franklin on. We, of course, had Tony Vitello on just a week and a half ago, whatever it's been now. I don't know. It's all running together. But we're going to keep trying to bring you guys more content, especially as baseball season fires up, and we're excited. Also, Bat Flip starts Monday night, February 17th. Bat Flip's back, so make sure you're back here on Monday nights as well. You got a lot of more important issues to watch, so you have to be subscribed on YouTube. That's the rules. Thank you guys again for listening. Hope you guys enjoy this conversation with Ross Kivett.
Home run, slam dunks, give him 6. Boys at MII, they got your big orange face. All year long is the place to be, to hear some balls for life, talking Tennessee. You can hate us if you want, but we sure ain't worried about you. We got more important issues.
We now bring on to the show a man who needs no introduction, but I feel I need to. He's the 2013, I believe that's correct, Big 12 Player of the Year. He looked good in purple, okay in red, better in orange, and now a father of one.
First-time caller, long-time listener for fatherhood.
It's Ross Kivett. I gave an introduction like that to Tony, and I was like, I got to do it for my guy, though.
Yeah, no, I saw the interview, and I know that I was up here. Now, I'm not better than Pav or Seacrest or the guys you guys make out with, but Tony, like coaching-wise, I felt like Zerker's your buddy, but I kind of more times on the pod.
Sure. I
jumped him, and then the white whale shows up, and I'm going, it's over, man. I'm always second fiddle to the white whale.
I mean, Landon can speak for himself. You're still above Tony for me. Now he comes on for round 2. We got a competition on our hands. I mean, you know, all bets are off. Let's see what happens. Let's play ball.
In season, if you guys got him on your pod, you can consider that one of the greater upsets ever. Like okay. When was Miracle on Ice? 1980?
80.
Yeah, it would be beating the Soviets type upset.
We're gonna we got you on in Omaha.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll snag him for like 2 minutes for Omaha.
Opened the door, didn't even have the Wi-Fi, bagged down on the pod. Just remember that. Who was shooting with you guys in the gym?
I agree. I mean, you kind of you were the start of everything. You kind of gave us
I appreciate that.
You gave us a voice, so you can also be blamed for that in some aspects.
I had to crawl so Tony could run.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You opened the door. He just kicked it wide open.
It's like, did you guys see the new Gladiator? Spoiler alert.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, never mind. Then you got to see it. We saw it with the infield club. I saw it twice. I went with Q2 and my wife and his
That
wife.
that good?
I liked it, man.
The original's phenomenal. So I mean,
Now remember,
think-
between the months of like, let's call it Thanksgiving till the
Not a
birth of
month.
my daughter,
Also not
everything's
a
a
month.
blur. Like it doesn't. It's all one day. So I might have seen 18 movies in between that time.
My niece, she's 1 and she watches Frozen and Moana like 3 or 4 times a day. So I hope
I'm
you're
looking
ready for
forward to
that.
that.
Yeah.
Hey, if this chica wants to go 4 hours of sleep tonight, I will throw her a 6-week party today.
So that bad, huh? No sleep?
No, it's been better. It's been
Okay.
better.
You're just in mid-season form now. Like you have
Yeah.
a travel schedule essentially, but
Yes.
at home.
My wife is a shining star, and this is the only pod that I go on that she. Well, it's the only pod I go on. But if this wasn't the only pod I went on, this is the only one she listens to. So shout out to Jacqueline. But she handles business now that it's game week.
Okay.
So I was doing some morning feeds, but now it's back to getting your 8 hours and making sure that you know the umpires' names and you're respectful.
Are you guys like calling in relievers like when it's switching time? Are you up here?
Oh yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one thing I think is a humongous characteristic of my wife. She is not afraid to share. Like last night, I got the 2 a.m. shift and it's 2:02, and here comes Reese girl is crying, and it's not like it's a tap on the shoulder. You're in, kid. So it's definitely a call to the bullpen. Now to be fair, that 4:30 thing comes around or 5. I ain't exactly jumping out of bed, boys. So
Are you not a morning guy? You not
heck
rise and
no,
grind?
dude. No.
Okay.
SQ. If we lift, it's noon plus. I'm a much like when you said something about post game, I'm going much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
I'm with you. The coaching profession always seems like especially, I mean, and I guess you see it more in like the football world. Like they're like, yeah, up at 4 a.m.
Oh, you're talking about the overachievers.
Sure.
The tryhards.
Yeah. Hey, look, you know how I do business. $1 more than everybody else. Not trying to be a show off.
I like that.
So you could hey when the stock market opens, Ross is awake. That's how I look
Okay.
at it.
Okay. Business
9:30
hours.
Eastern. Yeah, 9:30 Eastern.
So
So
you
you loved Central Time then. You were up early.
Oh, buddy, we should all be on Central Time.
I agree.
It's amazing.
It is the
I
best.
I mean, it's 8:30 there. They're just having
Right.
dinner. They're at
Yeah.
El Tiempo in Houston right now. Which
So
I'm going to on March 1st or whenever we play that 10 a.m. game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be going too, but my place I was supposed to stay fell through.
Well, hey, my new tenants don't go until the 2nd, so I guess technically you could go the 28th till the 1st. There's no furniture in there. Bring
Hey.
a sleeping bag.
Oh, we got an air mattress.
I can do that.
You can do it. I don't care. You just text my wife. You know the
Okay.
rules.
Oh, I don't know about that.
She'll say yes. She loves you
Okay.
guys.
I didn't know if that was like she's also a mother of a 1-year-old. Do we bother her at this point?
I think that was that text my wife, you can't jokes on you.
That's gonna be a big hell no.
It's more of like, hey, who's Caleb and Landon texting me about
Sure.
staying at the
Yeah,
house?
you're gonna see us on the Ring camera. And
Yeah.
I'm just be like, Ross said it was okay.
Yeah. She's gonna text me and go, who are these two guys at the door wearing all Vols orange?
Yeah, we're gonna end up like Stetson Bennett in Dallas. Just
Yeah,
3
you
a.m.
are.
wandering around. Like we're looking for our house, sir.
But I am pretty close to Minute Maid by mileage. But remember, in Houston, 6 miles is 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So you guys really probably need to get your Uber 2 hours before the game.
Jeez.
I know. And I'm 6 miles, dude. It's not far at all.
Why are you trying to talk me out of it? You're
Yeah,
just
we could
talking you
run.
into it. I'm talking.
How
you
far is the
into it.
run?
Well, that's the thing. I've rode a bike downtown before, believe it or not.
What about run?
No
Go straight
chance.
No chance.
No chance. You get a scooter.
Oh, I mean, okay. Yeah.
The best
You just
thing
got
about
llamas
Houston, there's no
sitting up.
laws. There's no laws down there. You could build
Okay.
properties right on top of other properties. You could ride a bike anywhere you want. You could do whatever you
Like
want.
Bourbon Street?
Dude, why do you think I thrive down there?
Are
When I
you
came back
a
here,
New
I had to
Orleans guy?
learn. I had to learn civilization again when I came back here.
Started
I was
using
like, hold
forks
on,
and spoons.
there's rules. You can't just leave your garbage can out for 3 weeks and then till the next time they come back.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you in an HOA? You have that kind of money?
No, I'm not in an
Oh,
HOA.
okay. All
Well,
right.
hold on. Let me ask my wife. We might be. Last time we talked, I was sitting at the same table and I said, Jacqueline's making all those decisions. I got no clue. I am a
you
West Sider, though, and I knew you were going to give me ish about that. So let's just
Oh,
get
yeah.
that out of the way.
So
well, to
where
be fair, as
you're
a
in
person who's
Farragut, is that
done
right?
Close enough. I'm a Hardin Valley
Wow.
Hawk.
Wow.
Better than Farragut, personally.
I have we have kids from Farragut on our team. Adam Lowe is a Farragut guy. He is just an absolute beauty. He is our ops. I'm a big Farragut component. The pediatrician, Farragut, they do a great job. But I do understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. Spent a lot of money.
I grew up in Garfield Heights, Ohio. You could Google that. I'm not, you can't take that out of the kid out here. I go, no shirts, no shoes, no issues around my neighborhood. And these people are thinking I'm crazy.
What's
Yeah,
our
they're like,
what's our
"Who is this
population at
guy?"
Garfield? What are we looking at here?
Oh, I don't know, Mike. What, for the people that we didn't tell them, my parents are in town to help. Opening week, big week.
Huge week.
I don't know, probably the same as
I've
Bearden.
got 28.9.
I was going to say
28.9 is what
Yeah.
I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Okay, accurate.
Okay.
That's
Bearden?
been confirmed.
Okay.
So you've always been a West Knoxville guy.
No, remember I was East Side.
Oh, that's right. You were East
I was
Side.
East Side.
and you're still a East Side owner, right? You're a landlord in Knoxville too.
Well,
Did you sell?
To somebody very close to me. Might have played shortstop before for the
Okay.
Vols.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm not going to blow up his spot because some people
Sure.
might look for it. And he's a handsome guy. I don't need anyone knocking on the door. I don't know what he's doing over there. But let's just say him and my wife went into negotiations again. I know who the boss is, cuz I know
Okay.
who it is.
Do you even see
Dang.
that? Do you even see that money, or you don't? You have no idea what happened in that
Oh,
transaction.
no, that's the issue, is that's why we're married, is because she's really good at keeping it and I'm really good at spending it.
Okay.
That's called balance. That's great.
It's balance. Exactly. Yeah. Yin and yang, dude.
You know your weaknesses and you address those in the portal.
Guys, I think the reason I'm still number one in your hearts is no one is more self-aware than this guy.
That's true.
No one on earth.
So
and
Friday
I know
night,
exactly where it is.
Friday night, do we just go ahead and get tossed to just get it out of the way on Friday?
Set the tone.
Yeah.
Well, it depends who's doing the bases. I haven't seen that yet. Lowe specifically was told to not tell me, which makes me think it's someone that maybe we don't get along. But I would like to preface this with, I'm zen now.
We had a listener.
Okay.
We had a listener question about that.
Really?
Let me pull that up here. We asked some people for some listener questions. This comes from, let's see. This comes from an M Morris 19345. He said, Kiv, has going to Houston calmed you down a little bit, or will it still take some mornings from third to cool you off?
Well, I guess we're gonna find out at 4:30 on Friday, but I will say that there's Coach V is very smart, and he has yoga once a week for the boys, and I've been joining. Okay. I've found my center, and it's not about me. It's not about me.
Okay.
It's about what can we do to have the best product on the field, and that's
sure.
I think now this is where I might be a little insecure. I think it's with me on the base paths or on the base coaching box, but Tony will decide that. If he thinks it's not, then he's going to probably have me get the heave ho. He'll probably tell the umpire, hey, if he says anything, just point to the cloud.
You're getting ejected by your own head coach now. I like it. Changing it up.
Yep.
I don't mean to rehash it, but I do have a question. We might share something in common. If I remember it correctly, and I actually did watch it fairly recently, because that's one of like YouTube's greatest Omaha moments. Just
Sure.
I don't know if you know that or not, but if you just like look up Omaha best moment,
Leaving your
it's up
mark.
there.
The problem is it was not the skinny jersey. It was the large
The
gray
gray
jersey,
stuff.
dude.
Yeah, the gray stuff.
We've said this multiple times.
It wasn't
just
thinning
tough,
enough.
dude. Tough look.
But you did just get ejected for disagreeing with the call by hitting the padding of the railing, right?
Correct.
Isn't that okay? So
Which is literally nothing.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. You can't disagree with the call now, is what it says. I know you can't answer that, but that's
I mean, they have to change the pad where Tony stands every couple weeks because he hits it so many times.
Well, umpires are humans too.
Sure. I'll remember that.
There's your zen.
There's my zen.
Well, you can
so
voice your
grown up.
opinion on this one. When I was coaching high school soccer, I was an assistant coach. We had a player do something real dumb in front of our bench. And I'm just like, hey man, I would have red carded you if I was the official. He turns around, I guess thinking I was correcting his call. And he was like, I'll officiate the game. No more out of you. And I was like, I was kind of saying I'll like send my player off. He's done.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, no more, coach. And we just have a standoff for like 30 seconds. And he's like, are you done? And I was like, I never started with you. I don't know what to do. This is a crazy situation.
That's because you went reverse psychology.
I guess.
You essentially said his call was so bad, you would have red carded your own guy.
My own guy.
And he took it personally that you're like, oh, yeah? How about I red card you?
Yeah. Oh, and he just stared at me. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this. So, I mean, yeah, almost got sent off for, I don't know. Just.
Did you and Tony talk about high school soccer?
A little bit. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure that made him just giddy.
Well, listen to this. This is some investigative journalism. I'm very proud of myself for this. I found I was just, trying to find some stuff that Tony hadn't talked about often, or like something that someone hadn't asked him about. And I found a podcast back in like August of last year with his dad in St. Louis. It was a St. Louis like soccer podcast.
The real Coach V.
Yeah, the real one. Yeah. Well, 5 state championships, I think.
Yeah, the man.
Right. And he told us, or a guy that was on that podcast with him started a story that Tony went to state championship game his first year out of high school. So he was a freshman in college, drove up. He gets there, goes into the locker room, kicks his dad out, gives the team a speech. His dad's like, I'm just waiting on the field for my team in the state championship game. And he's like, to this day, don't know what they said. No idea what he said to him. No one's told me. I was like, that's some crazy, like that's.
First of all, fantastic journalism by you.
Yeah,
Big stuff. Second of all, he'll never tell me what he said, but I'm going to find out.
See, I don't you know? I don't want to know. That's one of those like you live with it.
Oh yeah, I want to know. Somebody had a phone.
Greg can never know. His dad can never know.
I have actually a mutual family friend because you remember my wife is from St. Louis. One of Tony's best pals, and I'm kind of giving my source away, was on the soccer team on the first state championship Coach Greg Vitello won. So maybe I see if he can do some circle back on that team where Tony was a freshman in college, see what was said.
Okay.
So
tell Landon
that's good journalism.
Yeah.
That's journalism.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
One of us.
I'll be impressed if you find out.
Well, do you want to know? You just said you don't want to know.
I'll just be impressed if you find out. I definitely, I don't want to hear. I don't know. It's one thing.
I'll tell you, Landon.
I don't want.
Tell me.
I don't want the real Coach Vitello to ever know.
Well, there's the only real Coach Vitello is Coach Gregory.
That's what I don't want him to ever know. Like that's one he's got to live with.
I won't tell him. I won't tell him. Yeah. I'll tell Landon though.
Yeah. I mean, Greg probably knows. If I want that's a dad thing to just like. Yeah, he didn't tell me what he said, but I know what he said.
Oh, he might know. I'm sure he knows.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He can't confirm it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna see Greg Thursday. I'm gonna see if first. Let me first find out if he actually doesn't know,
Okay.
or if he was
Yeah.
just saying that for the camera.
Sure.
And then if he doesn't, then I'll dig in.
And
Okay.
then see if he'd want to come on and Landon probably. I
Oh,
want to
he
talk
would.
soccer with him.
He would easily come on. He's the man.
Perfect.
I mean, I'm going to be on here. I don't know anything about soccer, but I will be glad to just
Well, he
talk.
likes all sports.
He's just a coach. Like I was listening to it, so it's all. I mean, he talks a lot about Tennessee and the national championship and Tony obviously in that podcast. But I mean, he coached track and field. I think he coached football for a few years. I'm sure there were some other ones in there, and then baseball and soccer. Obviously, I mean, the dude did it all.
He was a high school AD's best friend.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He filled every vacancy.
Yeah.
I know we're working on almost 20 minutes without talking about what you probably want to talk about, but do you want a really good, in my opinion, really good Greg Vitello story?
Please, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. I don't know if this will get me, it shouldn't get me in trouble, but so last year, I'm obviously at Houston and we're playing on the road. I went up to St. Louis to see a catcher who's now committed to an SEC school that's not us and obviously did not commit to Houston. He does not play, gets washed. So I have to go to a different game. Okay. Well, the kid's playing the next week on a Tuesday. We obviously played that Tuesday. I couldn't get out there. So I call Greg V and say, yo, coach, any chance you can go up and watch this catcher for me? Hey, I trust your opinion. Just a little bit of video, whatever you think. Yeah, of course. All I need is the details. He's very detail oriented. So this is where it gets funny. I'm like, awesome. He literally moves like his whole schedule. Him and Kathy probably had things to do. He's got a brunch club. I think it's on Mondays, but it could have been Tuesday. He's driving to like north of St. Louis. Okay. So, because this is the field address that I gave him.
Mm-hmm.
He shows up to the field in typical Greg V fashion an hour prior to the game. No one's there. No one's there. I can't really say the school because you guys could probably dig in, but there's neither school is there. Okay. So it gets to about a half hour. I'm in BP with our group at Houston. I get a call from Greg and I'm like, the game didn't even start yet. Hey, what's up? Hey, dummy. You sure you sent me the right address? I'm instant white face panic. Yeah, that's what the website says. Dude, I refreshed the phone. They changed the location. I call him. I'm like, hey, let me call you right back. So I call the coach of one of the junior colleges and I'm like, dude, did you change the location? He was like, yeah. Yeah. I was like, you didn't remember when I called you and said, hey, I'm sending a guy up there to see this kid? And he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I have a guy there watching the game at the spot you told me the schedule said you were supposed to be at. And he's like, oh, yeah, dude, we changed the game. We're back. Dude, he drives an hour north, okay? The game is literally 15 minutes from his house. The new game.
Man.
Hey, he gets in the car and he's driving. He said, call me when BP's over. I call him. Oh, it was like I was his son. Just lambasting me about the schedule. Hey, I Venmo Q, and I was like, hey, Q, can you send this to Coach V because he's not taking my money? I paid for his gas. He texted me back and says, I'll send this in a card. Don't Venmo me. Just know where the kid's playing next time. Not a super recruiter, are you? So he drove an hour back and caught like the fourth inning. And I'm not going to trash the kid, but Greg V didn't think he was good enough. So we'll see if such school in the SEC actually plays this kid.
He didn't want you to have him
whose
anyway.
Fault will that be? Will it be yours or his? Because I mean, that's a tough recovery. I've been in a similar situation. Well, I mean, how could you expect him to go in with a clear mind if he was wrong about it? So I mean, I think that falls back on you. If
it's 1,000% on me. Dude, you should have. I had yes, sir. You're right. Yes, sir. I mean, I was like,
that's the worst.
I was like, man, This is like the principal's office.
How long was the phone call?
Not long. Didn't take much. I knew exactly where he was coming from. Let's call it 6 minutes.
Oh,
It's a
And
lot.
honestly, the
Get you out,
first 4 minutes was crushing me, and then the next one was like, who are you pitching tonight? Are you guys gonna win? Are you gonna score any runs? What's the infield like? I was like, we're like 3 under 500. It ain't great, but we could get better. I mean, still early. I mean,
yeah.
it's April.
You didn't really have anything to like give him to like boost your confidence back up.
Oh, dude, and the worst part is like I know he's gonna pick a good time. Like he won't tell Tony, but he's gonna tell Tony. And Tony, I was like, I'm just gonna call Tony after the game and get ahead of this. And he texted me like I think maybe 3 days later and was like, I wasn't gonna tell him, dummy.
So you ratted yourself out?
I lost twice. Actually, 3
Oh.
times because of the phone call too. So, but
All is well. I mean, I think he would probably tell Tony if he should hire you or not. So maybe it worked out.
I had some built up equity in the company prior. Thank God. I was living on that stock. but I mean, I had this guy who's one of the more accomplished coaches in the St. Louis area who could have made one phone call and found out. He was just trusting that I actually did my job, driving all around the city away from his family and time well spent because, he's probably getting in the car on Thursday and driving to Knoxville for a series. So on Tuesdays, driving around, he just, hey, dummy, no one's here. There's no teams here. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm standing on the pitcher's mound. There is no one here.
So have you kind of avoided him in Knoxville, or did he call you dummy when he saw you the next time?
No, he gives me ish every time now. It's so deserved. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I don't need your money. I just wanted to go to the game. And it's like, you're right, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's all you got.
Have you called him for any other recruiting assistance or any other just like St. Louis assistance since then, or is that like that's on the back burner?
No, just because Tony is so connected there, I don't really do a lot in St. Louis.
That makes sense.
And honestly, Elander's got a lot of good connections there now too, just from being around it. But I would not have I would have no issue with him because here's the one thing I would know. He would know if they're good or not. I'm not taking that away from him. He'll know if he plays the game the right way or not. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
He is looking for that for sure. So he was going to tell me if that kid was tough enough to handle Houston or not. That's for sure.
You brought up St. Louis area. Sorry, Landon. I'm just curious. I don't know if you played the new NCAA game and done recruiting in football. What's your pipeline state? Where are you? If there's a kid in this part of the country, where's that got to be to get Ross on the job?
Oh man, I'd like to say that working here the first time's connected me with a lot of different areas. Ohio's my home, so I'll always have a hunch there in Michigan. I really like Florida. And we have a lot of ties on our staff with that state. There's a lot of really good players. But honestly, when I was at Houston, it was coming into Nashville or East Tennessee. So we'll take care of home first. But the state I want, and I don't really care. You could clip this, is I want Georgia. I want Tennessee and Georgia. Those are the 2 states that's like the competitive juices get going when you're going after players in those areas.
When it's so much different, like, I mean, obviously Georgia's a big one for football too, but Tennessee's like not as much. But in baseball, they are. Like, it's been a huge, like, getting those Tennessee guys, and I don't know if it just, we talk about the SEC, it means more, but I feel like it does to a certain extent to where, I mean, we had Tanner Franklin on a couple days ago, and that was his dream to get that call from Tennessee when he entered the transfer portal. It just means a little bit more for those guys, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, look at some of those Abernathy, Levi Clark, just 2, and there's others, right? But I mean, shoot, there's like 12 or 13 on our team. It would take me another 20 minutes to go through each one of them, but like those specifically stand out, right?
Have
Tate Strickland's another guy on this year's team. Pav, wow. Pete Durkee, I mean,
Xander.
I was waiting for you guys to say it because
that was going to be my first one. Talking about the hotbed that is Georgia was going to be Xander.
That guy, dude, his story is really, really great. Because he was a really sought after prospect.
Mm-hmm.
And he did not underachieve by any means. I just think people develop differently and bodies are built differently and just can withstand. But with his arsenal and his mentality, he just did so much with his time. I don't know if there's anyone outside of maybe Sean Hunley that I can remember in the last 8 years that took an advantage of an opportunity like that.
It's such a cool story.
Championship game,
right? It's such a cool story personally to do what he did and just not only hang on but buy in and just commit to his role, but also getting better to the point that he is pitching in the national championship. Like that's an awesome personal story.
Yeah.
But I think too, what's special about it, and it's got to be for the program and the coaching staff, is like part of that is that he bought into what we were doing. He believed in the program enough to see it through. So, I mean, I think it's an incredible personal story, but also really cool for the program that not only did you win a national championship, that dude did it for you. Like he was a cornerstone in that.
Isn't it cool when both program and player stick together? I mean, just because you're not getting the instant gratification, maybe in year one or even year two, like Trey Lipscomb's an example of that as well, but they just stick with each other because you get a lot from the relationship. And I think that's kind of the toughest part now in this era. And I am by no means complaining about it. I think there's
room for both. I mean, sometimes the situation's not good. So, I mean, there's definitely room for both.
Sure. And, ain't nobody ever going to have a perfect storm of where you don't lose anybody with attrition, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But his specifically, just because of time spent both by him and his family and Coach V and the staff, like them seeing it through is really neat. I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, that story sticks out to me. Like I said, just the personal one. It's got to be cool from a program perspective to look back on that and see it. And that's I guess if we want to kind of start getting into this season.
Sure. And good segue. You're a pro J.
Yeah, I keep it capital all the time. Is it difficult, especially coming off? I mean, you've been a part of some good teams at Tennessee. Your previous time here. Is it tough that new team to find their own identity within the identity of the program? I like the one thing that pops in my mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah, is that like
absolutely?
Sometimes you have to go back to go forwards, like the Darth Vader switch up. I can't remember what year that was, and then it's like, all right, let's just be who we are. And it turns out we're the same dudes we were last year.
The craziest thing I hear, and Tony will hate me if he hears this, is like, oh, you got to turn the page and get to the next one. Okay, you tell a bunch of 19 to 22-year-old kids to turn the page. You do that. Let them know how that goes. Because you don't think that's in the back of their head? Yeah. I mean, they had the most success ever, the ultimate mountain climb. It's hard to get through that. Now, I will compliment our group. I think here recently, like I'm saying that maybe the last month or 2 weeks, like it's really been good. As far as the focus, the pizza series was fantastic competition. But yeah, man, like anyone that comes on here and say, oh, turn the page, it's a new year, new us, new team, like so hard to find your identity. And that would probably be my main message here is like, hey, slow down. I love how hard our fans fan. And you should. Like, that's what makes this place so great. Just temper the expectations early because you got new faces and you did lose a lot of at bats and you lost a lot of innings, and let these kids kind of get into their groove and then let's start to play the judgment game, right? And I'm not saying you can't be mad after the first weekend of production or whatever, but I don't really look at it until you start to get into SEC play on who you are. And I hope we don't find our identity on Friday. I hope it takes a few weeks to find who we are, because if you know who you are right from the start, you usually don't peak in June. And that's when I
Right.
want to peak, you know? So yeah, it's gonna be a great month. It's gonna be a lot of really good baseball. We're gonna win some games where people are gonna be really excited, and we might drop a game where people are gonna be really disappointed. We're not gonna judge you guys for being sad or mad or happy or ecstatic. So you don't have to do it with us either, you know? And not that our fans do, because fanning hard is part of doing this and it's part of this league. But most specifically, it's part of Knoxville, Tennessee, and it's why we win a lot of recruiting battles, guys.
Yeah. Well, and fanning hard wasn't a thing, 8 years ago. So
Correct.
so
I
that,
was
that
there.
yeah, that it's a lot more fun now to get to fan hard over a program. And I like what you said about turning the page. And it's kind of hard not to turn the page, honestly, because everybody's new, basically. Unless you're Hunter Inslee, Dean Curley, or Nate Snead, there's not a lot of guys returning from last year's team. So, I mean, kind of you have no choice but to turn the page. And it's like,
Sure.
we're a new team. Sure, we're part of a program that won a national championship. We have to defend that. We have a target on our back. And I'm sure when you saw those rings today, you're probably like, man, I want one of those,
You
including
think?
yourself.
You think?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
You could
Yeah.
probably
So
steal one off somebody. They all got two. They might not even know what's missing.
Well, some of those draft guys, they're still sitting there, so I could technically take them.
there you go.
But I
Yeah.
don't want to get in a fist fight with Semo or Blake Burke. I don't feel like I'd win that one.
Who do you
Dylan
think would
Dryling's
be?
kind of a silent assassin too. I don't want to get into fisticuffs with him.
Who do you think you could take, or who do you think would be a better matchup for you out of those three?
Xander. Oh, out of those three?
Yeah.
Oh man.
What about Cal Stark? You want any of Cal
Yeah,
Stark?
I was talking to him this morning in the weight room. Yeah, I'd wrestle him, I guess. I still don't love my odds, but that'd be who I'd pick
Okay.
out of those four.
Yeah.
He's probably sitting there going, pick Dryling. But I don't know, man. That guy played football. It scares me.
Yeah. At Hayes, which is a good school.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hayes, Kansas. I'm a Kansas guy. You know I went to K-State player.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 6th-round pick, huh?
Yeah, that was the second time I got drafted the top 10 rounds.
What was the first time?
10th round, hometown team. No discounts
Right on
in
the
the
cusp
Kivett
of
family.
top 10. Okay. It was top 10 though. I mean, I'm just for
10-6, technically inside of it.
We're just telling the full story. We're not pulling any punches.
This is my interview with you. This isn't supposed to be shade. Save that for when you bring Franklin on.
I've never been drafted in anything, so that's no shade.
Friendship draft.
We might have been drafted. We don't know. When it was like 30 rounds, we have been
There's
drafted.
a good possibility.
Yeah. Frank was the highest drafted infielder on our staff. And that staff has some good infielders on it.
What pick did he get taken?
He went in the 5th round, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, Coach Elander went, I think, 12 or 13 picks above me, but he was a catcher. He went the 6th round. Ricky went in like the 18th, which is and V has had a lot of draft picks.
What did Zerker go? I know he's not on staff anymore.
He went later, but he was a Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer. You can never take that away.
He was the only Hall of Famer.
Did he get a ring for that?
Now he's corporate.
Corporate Zerk. Saw him wearing his polo today. He's excited.
Oh yeah, good for him.
Do you think
went
he should
out on
throw out
top
the first
too.
pitch? I think you should throw out the first pitch.
The first pitch of like a Friday?
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, one of the days.
I mean, at the dinner that you missed,
I did.
Yeah, they brought that up. There was you could bid on something to throw at the first pitch.
Well, outside of that and the talent fees, we're trying to pay for these guys.
I know. Well, that stadium that you're building.
What Landon's saying is there does have to be a February series somewhere in there where it's hard to find someone.
And
he is a phone call away. Not me. He is a phone call away.
I think you'd have to tag team it, Landon. Do you agree?
Okay. That's fine.
Wait,
we can do.
so
Caleb can sing the national anthem, and I'll throw the first pitch.
I thought we could run a football play. I could snap it to him.
Throw it, and then I'll catch one.
Okay.
And then we'll have
Smokey will catch the other.
Is that who catches them? I'm new.
No, I think it's Kirby. Kirby used to. I don't know if he still does.
Kirby will catch the other one.
Okay.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna catch Landon's though, because I'm not as athletic as Kirby, and I don't know where you're throwing it, Caleb.
Buddy. Well, depending, I don't know how you tag team. I would say right over the plate, but I don't know where I'd be throwing from in this scenario. So I'm really not sure what to say.
We'll get you both on one side of each mound, so don't hit me with your follow through.
It's going to end up being like, was it 50 Cent who had a really bad one?
Oh, yeah, he threw it like the first base dugout.
Conor McGregor's was bad. Like, so bad it looks staged.
Which I hate, because I would say I can throw a baseball just fine. I can throw any ball just fine. But then all these
you can
seemingly athletic guys really suck at it.
You think 50 Cent is athletic?
No, but was it Jaden Daniels that had an awful one this past season?
Oh, CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud, yes. Yeah. I mean,
bad.
Terrible.
Hey, I got a little insider info for you.
Okay.
CJ Stroud used the University I didn't tell you this. University of Houston practiced sliding on that field because he can't slide.
Was he the story of the guy that couldn't slide? Was it him?
It probably was. They had the wide receivers coach, the quarterback coach, and the assistant general manager with him, and he was literally just stealing seconds sliding.
Did he just have the yips?
He just he can't I don't, for how freaky that dude is, he can't physically go down. He was going wrong leg, so not great. World? And then he started to get some rhythm, but then they put the football in there, and it was another just.
I could see you out there like Buttermaker, just trying to coach this man how to slide. Blitzed.
Do you coach from a bucket often? Speaking of Buttermaker,
no. Do you know my boss, dude?
Oh yeah, there's no sitting down.
He would kick the bucket from under me and say,
"Funny to watch."
It'd be a good who's the comedian he always does stuff with?
Mancuso.
Yeah,
how you say his name.
I could see them kind of having a skit like that, maybe.
Don't give him free skit ideas.
Yeah, we should do skits.
We should write his skits.
I'm saying we should do it, and you should be involved as well. We'll do skits.
I do need to go back.
We'll play golf.
I want to say this. I don't want to throw out the first pitch, but I do want you all to get a bullpen cart. Do you know they used to have those golf carts that looked like a baseball? And I want to drive the bullpen cart for a game or two or a series. I don't know.
Have you seen our right field? It is sweet. I don't know if we.
I thought you were going to make a comment about how far it was from the pitcher's mound, but
I don't know if because those are premium seats now. If you pay the cash, you can watch the pitcher. It's crazy.
Oh, it's because it's underneath now, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. When the students
you saying this, it's going to make my tickets go up again. God.
Hey, man. Hey.
How am I supposed to live in West Knoxville if I'm paying these tickets?
You're going to have to just sell more merch, dude.
We need to get merch first.
Why don't we get some merch?
We have it in the works.
It's coming.
I'm wearing everybody else's hats.
I know.
Why are you not?
We'll get you one as soon as we get it. But we got sponsor. We got Hovey Dry Goods sponsor.
Okay.
You need a hat? You need that? Do you have that smoky hat?
Yeah. I don't. I need it.
All right,
okay.
I'll get you one.
Okay.
But we're getting some merch.
What about golf polos?
Yeah. We're working on
getting those.
We still playing Iguani?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
How's your game?
I mean, me and my father are gonna play this week, but I haven't played since August.
I don't know if you've seen the weather. I don't think you guys are playing this week.
Oh, I meant Monday. What's Monday like? Someone told me Monday.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know.
Surely.
This week, it's all the same to me.
Sure.
Because my schedule's on NCAA time, so Monday to Monday. So I'm talking about the 17th. What's that look like?
Yeah, you're probably good. I'm not going to commit to it, but you're probably good.
Well, you got to work?
It's going to be cold.
Yeah, I got to work.
That's okay. I got sleeves, cuz.
I forgot you're from Ohio. This doesn't.
Hey, I'm a winter golf pro. I play a lot of winter golf.
Are you playing good now?
I haven't gotten to play a lot, so no, not really.
All right.
I'm atrocious.
I'm not great right now, but it sounds like Caleb would take my money.
Caleb's a lot better than he leads on. Yes,
I know.
I'm not, but I'm a 12 handicap. That's so.
Oh, jeez, dude, I'm like 19.
Okay, then me and Ross can play.
I haven't played in I don't know if you know this, but I had a pretty serious move this summer. Not a lot of time at golf.
Yeah. How's that going, by the way? Everything good?
Good, man. Love it.
He's been here for 9 months.
I know, but it again. Remember, they've all been one big day.
Yeah.
No, if it's great. It's the greatest place on earth. I've eaten at all my favorite spots, except for I'm saving Sono for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Still haven't done it, but I've hit all my other favorite spots.
What nights are you free during the season? What night do we need to make it happen?
Monday nights are my favorite. Okay. Those are my.
That's when all the pitchers go golf.
I know they do. But remember, when recruiting starts, we're gonna have to plan that. Depends where I'm at. We'll make it work. I don't know if you've seen our class, but there's some good ones in that class that I'm gonna have to go talk out of the draft.
Me and Caleb work in sales, so we could definitely help recruit if you need us to.
I'll just FaceTime you guys when we're sitting at the dinner table with the families.
Yeah. Let me talk to mom and dad. Ease their minds.
Mm-hmm.
Just so the NCAA knows, I know this is not legal, and I'm just kidding. You guys are already.
The University of Tennessee.
It is late at night.
The University of Tennessee won't acknowledge us as boosters, so I think you're okay. And even though we're season ticket holders, we don't get that. We don't get that acknowledgement.
I cannot outside influence via FaceTime.
Yeah.
Now, if you reach out on your own, I didn't set that up.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
But technically,
I'll call you every hour just in case you're at.
Well, I can't say their name, but you can.
We'll just talk on speaker. We'll have it. If they eavesdrop on our conversation, that's on them.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that idea. Yeah. I love that idea. See, this is my problem, is I could keep you guys on here for 3 hours. So I'm sorry that I haven't really gotten on. We've gone everywhere from CJ Stroud sliding to golfing.
Well, I do have a baseball question, and we can start with that and get to baseball a little bit.
I already started us on baseball. Let's back up.
Okay.
You did. Big hit.
But my job is we're bringing us back. We got to get back.
Bring us back.
Yeah. So at Houston, I did a little research. So every year, Houston went up a bunch of offensive categories, defensive categories. How do you make players hit more home runs?
Oh, I literally just copied every single practice plan from Elander and brought it to Houston. I did.
All right, that's all you have to do.
That's and I hope he takes that as a compliment, because he has some sort of magic, and I was not trying to reinvent the wheel.
Well, I didn't know if it was recruit better players or is just.
Well, that's part. I mean, getting good players is part of it. And I had a lot of Zach Arnold, Justin Murray, Ryan Hernandez. I mean, I could go down the list of guys I either had when I got there and kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Because it's late. When you get there and you didn't adopt them, but you
inherit them.
I inherited them. Great job, Big J. And then you put some finishing touches on some SEC players. Tuamero's another one from Kansas who was a huge blessing for me there, and got really lucky those first 2 years. Then when it went into the Big 12, all those guys had graduated or signed, and it got a little bit tougher, obviously, going up in the league. Still pretty offensive, but I just think his approach, Coach E's approach, and just the way he teaches it, it works here and it works there, and I think it would work anywhere.
So that makes me wonder has he crafted this perfect plan? He could help anyone hit home runs. Or has he gotten so good at implementing it, and then you had several years to watch that? Like, this is a question that you're going to have to just brag on yourself, I guess.
No.
Like, you're learning not only the method, like you said, that's kind of tried and true, but then the way he implements it at Tennessee, the way you implemented it at Houston, like, is that a huge part of it, knowing how to go about it?
Sure, be smarter than I look. If it's working, the easiest thing to do was learn the ins and outs of it. It would be like Mike Leach, West Coast offense, right? Like he has 7 plays written down on a napkin or whatever the story is, and he's got Lincoln Riley and Dana Holgerson and everybody else that's running this offense. That's kind of how I took it. So it's basically 4 or 5 simplicities that you kind of create, maybe a little bit different verbiage or lingo, but as long as you're all on the same page, it should flow. And then you kind of craft it to what your skill set is as a group or what your players are in general.
Has Elander ever bragged about being undefeated as a head coach?
No, he's never bragged in his life.
I just want you to know, I did ask Tony Vitello if he knew that Josh Elander was undefeated as head coach.
Was he jealous?
I was like, does he ever remind you of that? He's in a roundabout way said no, but I think that should be something that he is reminded of.
I'm going to write it on his locker door tomorrow.
Do it. Well, I told him, I said, I don't know if he liked the joke, but I was like, sometimes, when there's losses or fans start getting upset, I like to be the calm presence in the room that just reminds everyone that Josh Elander is undefeated if you ever have to go there.
Do you remember his first win as head coach? It was
Josh Elander
against Kentucky when Chinea hit the homer in the 8th inning.
I didn't realize that was the first one.
How about that? Because
I think he's 4-0.
I think I forgot that one.
I know there's 2 versus Alabama.
Yep, 1 against Kentucky.
I don't remember. I think it's 4-0.
I think there's 1 more.
I get, would it either be, was that the last game of the series against Kentucky, or would it have been that Tuesday? Okay, so it probably would have been that Tuesday opponent then, because he probably would have been out for the next one, right?
It was because Tony came back for Vanderbilt that Friday.
So has he only been ejected twice?
3 times.
Okay, so he's 5 or 6-0 then. 3
times. Once was multi-games.
He might have a really good record.
I think it might be 6.
Yeah, he might have a really.
All right, you were all getting ADD, but yes, I'm proud of him for that.
Did you rack up any wins in Houston?
Coach Whitting
doesn't get ejected.
Great poise. Only was ejected 1 time, but it was mid-game. Did not get
another game.
Did not.
What about
were you
tossed?
Were you acting?
Houston?
I was acting, correct.
So you get that win if it finished out.
We lost in extra innings.
You are 0-1, sir.
But who's counting? Just you.
Yeah.
If you, I'm gonna send Tony a message and be like, before you go, you're gonna beat Kiv into the locker room in the morning. So maybe just go ahead and write an 0-1 sticker on his.
If he's up prior to the bell ringing in New York City, then yes, he will beat me into the locker room tomorrow.
Sorry, Landon. I like that question. I hated that we took it away.
Oh, no, you're good.
Hit me with it again, because now I just forgot it.
I asked if you ever got tossed in Houston.
Yes. Okay. Multi-gamer.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Yeah. Bad
Contact?
Oh, just didn't want to let it go. Yeah. I think they call it continuing.
Okay.
And I was continuing to be right with my right finger.
Was there a clipboard involved?
No, I had.
That was a binder.
Remember, I was coaching third, so all my time in between innings wasn't defense there. It was going over the last innings at bats, breaking down, getting on the iPad and looking at the bullpen for what's coming up.
Gotcha.
So I I had no defensive responsibilities on game day, but I did coach the infield. So positioning was not me though. That Todd does it a little different, which is fine. I mean, everyone's got their own way. I didn't mind it. I actually kind of liked being hooked up to the offensive side.
Well, that's one question I had too about you rejoining this staff. Is there been any change, whether that be they took something that either you've always thought about or you just started in Houston? Has there been change that you've either brought in or with this transition, however it occurred, or has it kind of been status quo, like you kind of picked up where you left off?
Oh, it's going to sound weird, but pretty much where I left off.
Okay.
So hold on, guys, 1 second. Yeah, it's okay. Reese is getting a dream feed, boys. You're gonna really sell this one to all the moms. You guys,
I love that.
When Nani's in town, this is why I can get on the podcast at 10:30.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to mom and dad.
It takes a village.
Yeah, they'll be at home opener Friday if you guys are there. Opening day.
I
you guys want to buy them a beverage?
I'll be there Saturday.
My dad's there. Mom not there. No baby Saturday.
Okay.
Too cold.
He'll get two drinks, one from Landon and one from me. I'll send Landon some money.
Are you gonna sit in the seats or up in the club? He'll be in the seats, so I'll just exchange numbers for you.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Well, I'm glad this is happening because that was one of my questions is the family allowed around us again after the tailgate, or was that a one-time deal?
How about my brother showing up?
Yeah,
I know.
He is not in town this week, but he had a blast. He had
an
absolute blast.
Kind of. He
loved it.
He was up here. I'm not going to put him ahead of you, but like in the Kivett ranking, like
he's kind of funny. He's kind of funny.
Who's funnier, you or him?
Man, come on. Your guys' cheeks hurt after these podcasts. But he's really, honestly, if you knew that we're talking about a lot of evolutions here of my brother, and like personality wise, he would have never gone to a random tailgate with guys that I'm telling him are cool and he just never met before. And then look at him now and he's cruising down having beverages.
Yeah. So he's gonna do it again next year.
Oh yeah. I think he's coming for A&M this baseball season, and he talked about Auburn. But I don't know. That's going to depend on what the TV is. If that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, he would not do it. If it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he would.
Okay. Because we're throwing a tailgate next Saturday before the Samford game.
Samford, yep.
Yeah. All the guys, all our friend group is getting together, going to the game.
Okay.
And we're going to throw a big.
Samford's good now. They're good.
Okay. Well, we just need a lot of home runs.
I've started on the Samford, the scout, which goes back to your question. A little bit more with Frank on the scouting side, but not as much, if that makes sense. So, the early stuff more involved, whereas Frank used to do, well, he still does, a lot of the scouting, and then game day, I would get the notes, pass it on, right? Volunteer assistant, just secretary, get the coffee. But now it's a little bit more, he'll hear you out. Now, I'm not saying he listens and he shouldn't, but that's probably a little different. But coaching first base, me and Coach E, plenty of good chemistry there. We did it for so long. Infield, obviously, there's a lot of guys that are involved, with Tony being involved and Ricky, and Grizz is a GA, Ethan Payne. He's doing a great job. So that's pretty neat. But I think the nuance, or the new thing with this job, is a lot more going and seeing players, right? I didn't have that chance the first time around. So that's the biggest difference, is now these guys that come in, I've had eyeballs on them, building relationships with phone calls, actually involved in it. So you kind of feel, there's a weird feeling, and I bet you every coach in every sport feels this. Yeah, it's fun to coach the team, but when you bring the players in and then you see them develop and they're good, that's kind of your stamp on your resume. So I think that's kind of the cool part about coming back, is now I'm actually involved in it.
What's been the biggest difference from when you were here the last time that you've noticed?
Well, I don't know if you've seen the construction, dude, but there's
couple more trains.
There's $100 million going into the stadium.
Are you getting an office built? Is that part of the?
I am. It's part of that little box on the Tony suite there.
Yeah, if you gotta fill some seats for some games, hit the quota for the month. You just let us know.
I will. The midweeks my wife will not be at, so if you're needing tickets,
use them or lose them. That's what they say.
Use them or lose them. That is the theory. But I think we're sold out through 27, dude. And yes, I know your tickets go up, but like you said it, dude, 8 years ago, ain't nobody going to those games.
I know. It's a love-hate.
We mull over it off and we're like, we want to win, but we also want cheap tickets, but we want to win. So I guess it is what it is.
And I don't want to disrespect those first couple of teams because there's so many really good kids and there's good players on. I mean, shoot, Andre Lipsius plays in the big leagues and Garrett Crochet, and there's lots of guys from that first group. But it just comes with the territory. I think the players are obviously a little bit more advanced. You're getting guys that probably should have signed out of high school and they're making it to campus, so that's a huge difference too. And honestly, you're not going to believe this, but like Tony's more calm.
Okay.
That's, Frank's more calm. I think winning can do one or two things with guys, and that by no means they're less competitive. But I do think there's a sense of just kind of stability with this group that you knew Tony was going to have at least 4 or 5 years, right? But think about our first year, man. John Curry gets whacked. We got Phil Fulmer comes in, who's a great human, and there's so many things going on. Like you feel stable, but you don't, if that makes sense. And then it really wasn't until 21 till I felt like, okay, this train is a moving. And obviously, I left, but and that's why they were so good in 22. But you saw how 22 and 23 and then obviously the 24, like it's a different rhythm. It's a different momentum. And that by no means, again, you heard me earlier about 20 minutes ago, I tempered all the expectations, let this team become what they're supposed to be. But you just kind of always have in the back of your mind that confidence that these players are a little different.
Yeah. Absolutely. I know I'm going to let Landon hit on some baseball questions, but I do want to ask one thing. Do you try to be a Twitter troll, and has that stopped since now being paid?
Yeah, there's a little bit more restrictions. There's been some
I love it. I just want you to know I love it. I didn't realize how you used to be a troll. I loved it. I've got some tweets we're going to talk about one day. I'm excited.
With me?
Yeah.
To you?
No.
Oh,
but not to me. But I'm glad you mentioned that.
Give a good one.
Well,
when Landon's crushing the national championship Michigan Wolverines.
Do you and Landon need to have you all had some vicious moments?
We were in Houston watching the confetti fall, and this guy's crying about sign stealing, which hadn't happened in 10 weeks.
Oh no.
Yeah,
he should be back. He ran. Yeah, he ran. He
didn't want the smoke because he knows that wasn't an accurate statement. He was speaking without having any type of factual evidence.
I didn't realize how much you all went at it. I was shocked when I was just going through some of your old tweets. I was like, man, they don't like each other.
Oh, I think it was, well, I don't know. I think our friendship has really evolved.
It's gotten stronger because of that.
Yeah, I think he got yelled at. He said it's too late for him. Hey,
he told me his computer's about to die, but I mean he's at home, so I think he's getting a charger. I would imagine.
So when you guys watch, man, this is gonna be a tangent. When you guys are watching, like, you'll watch the baseball games, you watch the basketball games on the road. Are you like for content purposes, or is it more like? Do you fan or content? Like, what is your main priority? Because you want to build the brand, right? Which is a great brand, and that's a big difference from when I was here last time is like, you guys have had 500 episodes and you got all these followers and you're about to get merch. Like, are you trying to build it or are you like fanning?
Well, I think there's overlap there. So it's both is probably the answer, and not like I guess like the easy answer. Like I'm not trying to like easy out it, but like most of our content is from a fan perspective. I mean, you've listened to us talk about baseball, especially me. Like I have my understanding for football isn't great, but it's far more than baseball, and same for basketball versus baseball. Like I have a better understanding for those sports, but it's still so little, and I recognize that. But I mean, I think overall, like we can give like somewhat competent takes in either of those, any of those sports. So I think it's like we're always tackling those takes with like fan takes. Like we're gonna melt down about the Kentucky game, I'm sure, but just because like we're fans, knowing it's up and down. Well, I mean, we usually, if you listen to a long enough episode, you'll hear us get to a point of being like, well, let's see what happens next week. They're still, you can like, and we'll talk ourselves into a win. Like that was during the Butch Jones era.
Yeah,
I think that we had a patent on talking, like we were the ones who talked ourselves into wins no matter what, because it's the fan in us. But if you listen to our episode, you're like, you guys just defined 1,000 ways to lose. How do you find one way to win? So I think it's a balance of both. And usually watching games throughout the game, I'm like all fan. And then I'll usually have breaks where I'll start looking at box score, trying to put my take on the game into context with that. So I think it's both.
Well, I asked because in August, when you guys were going negative about the football schedule, and I told you we're going to the college football playoff, I texted Landon and said, clip it and send it out to Twitter that I was on board when you were being negative, and you wouldn't do it. If we're talking about old takes exposed here,
I don't remember saying we wouldn't go to the college football playoff. Here's why I don't remember it.
Landon?
I'm sure I did, but
we're going to lose at Arkansas, which you guys were right. We're going to lose to Alabama. You got to go on the road and beat this team. You got to. This one's a trap game, not a trap, cuz we're in the playoff.
Sure. I had us getting into the playoff at 9-3, and everyone else was like, no way. I didn't have us getting into the playoff at 9-3. I said there was a possibility.
Good coach, good quarterback. That's all you need in college football.
If I was negative about it, I apologize. I apologize. You're right, Ross. I apologize.
Jim Harbaugh, JJ McCarthy, doesn't matter what the signs were. Josh Heupel, Nico, didn't matter how you guys felt about the schedule. It was.
Do you have a Tennessee baseball manifesto?
I do. I actually play the schedule game. I'm going to play it tomorrow. I have some takes.
Just in a Google Doc, or like, is it written in a notebook?
So I write it down. So I'll play the schedule game, fold the schedule up. I put it in. I have like a lockbox in my office. I'll write down like what I think will happen, 3 hot takes, and then I'll write down who I think will win the national championship.
Can we go over that at the end of the year?
Absolutely. I will do that. I am as transparent as it gets. I do not care what people think. Because I'm with these cats every single day. So I know exactly what we are as far as like what I think the ceiling could be. But I do believe I'll always believe in the clubhouse because I know who runs the clubhouse. You know what I mean? And I know who motivates the clubhouse. So I'm never, it's going to be hard for me to be, here's a little spoiler alert. It's going to be hard for me to be negative about it. There's work to do, dude. I mean, there just is. Like you said, Target, we don't really use that in our like room. Because, there's kind of been a Target for a while, because
we're
that's true. Spicy team and, people hunt.
And don't you want that? Like, wouldn't you rather leave the ballpark and go, we got that team's best effort, win or lose, like we got their best effort?
Hofstra is not going to give us 80% of them.
Right.
They're just not. And either will Florida, either will South Carolina, either will Alabama. You know that going in. My biggest takeaway is do we have the guy that's going to go, hey, it's mano a mano? Because the sport can technically, it's not Zakai versus the point guard, but like it could be one-on-one.
Right.
And who's going to outcompete? Who's going to out intangible? Who's going to play the hardest for the longest? And I'm just confident in our people with that. That doesn't mean I'm saying we're going to repeat it, because you do need a couple of good bounces that way, and they would tell you that too. The team last year, but I mean, I like the group. I think you guys like the group, or you wanted to have me on. I think you
Yeah.
like. I think you like what the core is. I think I'm allowed to say this because Tony said it in his presser today. I think AJ Russell getting back is an added element to this group that could be kind of exciting. Um, I enjoy Liam Doyle. I enjoy being around him. I mean, how can you not be proud of Marcus Phillips and just what I know about him and what you guys know
Yeah.
about him, and being in the starting rotation on opening weekend? Wow, right? Like that's so awesome, and it kind of shows what the program is. You
Yeah.
know, you're you're given opportunities, and if you make the most of it, you get the chance. You talked about it with Xander, and I think Marcus is another great example. Um, and whoever he throws on Sunday is going to be confident with the people behind him. And I'm a big fan of Dean Curley and being around him. And
Because he
that
gave you your number back. Is that right? Is that why?
no, he did not, because Marcus
Okay.
is wearing it.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Hey, funny story.
When are we going to get the roster, by the way? I mean, we
I
are
know everyone
inching on.
keep tweeting me about that. You'll get it on Friday. It'll be posted.
That's kind of crazy. Final day.
Well,
Admit it.
We've done it every year.
Have
for
you?
9 years.
I know it's been late. I know it's been late every year.
I wanted to be Luka Doncic. I wanted to wear 77.
Okay.
A lot of it is because we're both 270, and they said no. And I'm a little bummed about it, but I'll rock 26 this year, and then when Marcus leaves, I'll be 23 the next year.
Okay.
I
mean, what if he has such a good year where you have to just
retire it?
Yeah.
Who is he? Todd Helton?
I don't know.
He might be.
I mean, no one thought he was going to be in the starting rotation after last year either.
Hey, man, there's been some good ones ahead of him. If they're not retiring guys, especially, Christian Moore had a pretty good year, dude. They're wearing his number this year.
That's probably coming, I would say.
So, I mean, man, I like it. I like the group. I think, but I think it would be fun for you to go through the box. Well, hopefully it's late June.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that'll be fun. I don't know if that's a manifesto exactly. It's really cool. I want to see it. But
I mean,
it's not quite Connor Stallion's like 99 pages of how he would run the program and
one page
shape it. And
if Tony found a manifesto of me how I'd run the program, he'd kill me. And I wouldn't blame him. So
you admit like that is some crazy behavior.
Crazy person.
It's kind of
Sharon came out and said he's not happy about it.
From a fan perspective, that's one of the more legendary things to ever happen. Like, you love this program so much, you bought your way on. I guess. I mean, he worked his way on, but like he's like flying in every weekend. I don't know. It's weird.
It's weird.
And then, whether right or wrong, he gets credited almost fully with the national championship.
Yeah, which sucks because, dude,
that's the stuff of legends.
Blake Corum, like. The cat. I mean, are you guys bummed because of Junior Colston from Nashville? Like, those are the guys I remember on that team.
Ravenwood, right? That's where he's from.
Yeah.
That was a tough pill to swallow.
I remember that guy who wore the Chippewas shirt in that national championship season. That's what I remember from it.
I know that. I'm not gonna lie, that makes me so mad. But like the Ohio State fans right now, having to know that if it was a 14 playoff, they don't make it, that makes me happy.
Or that they won a national championship, and if they post the schedule, there's a loss to Michigan on there.
And they won't post the schedule because there's a loss to Michigan.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Michigan should be selling Ohio State national championship shirts in their bookstore with the schedule. I would.
I mean,
it's worth it.
I bleed orange on all things sports. on what was it, December 21st, I fanned too hard. I was getting bad, and I had to apologize, not publicly, for some of the things, because they're just kids, right? That's what they're just kids. But I wanted them to.
Did you fire off some tweets? Did I miss these?
No. Well, you
Okay.
don't have my burner, but I'm kidding. Don't have a burner.
You did text me immediately after that Michigan game.
I did. I wanted them so bad in Neyland. I wanted Ohio. I got the matchup I wanted. I wanted it in Neyland. I would have had all my buddies from home. Oh, and we were winning in Neyland. They were defeated.
I like it.
And the Warren Manuel runs the committee, and I told you this, Landon, puts them on a home game after losing they were what, 20-point dogs? Favorites.
Favorites, yeah.
You know, I don't know how that stuff works, but I'm sitting here going,
is that an Alabama joke?
How do they get there? How do they get their home playoff game? God.
Yeah.
But going back to
considered, why did they get the home playoff game over us? Why?
I want to hash that out, but I do want to read this tweet before I forget. And I'm saving some. I want you to know this was my all-time favorite. On June 25th, 2021, this was after you were ejected. Some guy fired off a crazy tweet. He ended it with, and I don't even think you were tagged in this. I think you were just talked about. You might have been tagged in it. You said, "You're not even paid. Grab your bucket of balls and hit the bricks." April 4th, 2022, Ross Kivett responds almost a year later. He said, "Just getting to this. Impressed by your grammar. Let's exchange tax statements for my time with the Vols. Curious who made more." I was like, I mean, that was, I wish that guy had responded or blocked you or something. He may have blocked you. I don't know. But when I saw that one,
he got dunked on, cuz.
Yeah. No, he got ratio. He did get ratioed. Yours had 4 likes. He only had 1. So he did get
4
ratioed.
Isn't great, but
it's in the replies. And I mean, I somehow missed it first time around. So I think
I know. I hope you have the one I'm thinking of, dude.
We'll have to see.
The guy that was crushing me for my using potty language, and
I think I did see that one. I'm gonna have to go back through these.
And he deleted his whole thread. You would have had to screenshot it. And
man.
He literally, it was when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, and I've been waiting for this guy to slip. And he said something like outlandish, dude. Like, I don't know. I don't want to go there because but like, I'm pretty sure there was bad language. And I literally responded with his tweet to me. And I was like, what an example from a man of Christ or something, dude. And he got smoked. Like, people were grilling him, and I think he deleted his entire account. Because he was crushing me that, like, I'm a bad mentor for kids, and I'm learning half this language from these kids. So you're gonna have to talk to their parents. But dude, all timer. I was hoping that was the one, because that was an all timer.
I'll have to find that one. You did remind me. I had an interaction with a former coworker of yours, Brian Niedermeyer. He tweeted, I don't remember what recruit from IMG. He was a coach at IMG when it happened, and got committed, maybe Ohio State over Tennessee, somewhere over Tennessee. Like, Tennessee was
it Carnell Tate?
Maybe it was Carnell Tate.
No, he was.
Was he IMG? Did he finish up at IMG?
Yeah, he was at IMG.
It might have been.
I think I know what you're talking about, dude. Oh no.
And he tweeted, "You hate to see it." I only responded with the video of The Rock, and it's like 1 second long. It's just, shut up. That's all it is. I checked like 2 minutes later, and he had me blocked. The satisfaction I got from knowing he had to open that video and listen to that. I didn't put any words on it, just the video. I was like, that's a satisfying feeling.
Man, we talk about legalities. I can't get into that one, but
that's fair.
He should have just let the dog lie.
You can't be tweeting about Tennessee after all that.
He cannot, dude. He cannot.
Speaking of tweeting about Tennessee, we have Evan Russell has taken to Twitter.
I saw that before we got on.
Yeah, making his case to the NCAA that Alberto Osuna should be eligible.
I didn't see that.
Well,
I love it.
Alberto, what a great kid, and a proven player who, I mean, if he's a Vanderbilt quarterback, he's playing Friday, right?
Yeah.
So I understand Evan's frustrations. I can say this: the right due process is going, and to Evan's point, maybe slower than it should be, but I will say this: Tennessee is supporting Alberto as fully. He has obtained representation, and we support him as a baseball player here. And I'm looking forward to when he suits up.
Yeah, and you want to play
confident in it
that first weekend for sure, but
right,
you want him.
That's a good assumption, barring something
SEC
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer. I will say I would be surprised if it's not before SEC play.
Okay. Yeah.
This is, again, I'm not trying to alter any of the facts of this case, but I think it's going down the right road. And you're going to get some news about it when you wake up, probably as long as you wake up before the bell. And I can say that, but I probably couldn't go into it anymore just because, legally speaking, this is Alberto's choice and his family, which, I mean, think about it this way, man. Like, you got a kid who sees an opportunity because of what was posted by the NCAA and by lawyers of Diego Pavia. And this is no slight at Diego Pavia. I'm glad he gets his year. I think that's great. But when you start doing this kind of stuff, you got to be smart because you're playing with fire. And
you open up a can of worms.
Because the kid's not a football player, he doesn't get the same privileges.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a blue-collar kid from a blue-collar family who has earned the right to reap the benefits of playing in an SEC school, all the benefits that come with that, which you guys know. I mean, it's more than just playing at Alex Box Stadium or Lindsey Nelson. There is monetary repercussions with playing college sports now.
Right.
And it's different at all levels. So that's what Diego Pavia fought for. And I mean, you guys will see the facts of the case. It's equal. So with that being said, I think I can leave it with this. He had a really good spring training. He showed up extremely late. He's done everything in the classroom. He's done everything as a teammate. And the guys love him. He's fitting like a glove. And we're just excited for when he gets that chance. And we're hoping everyone's making the right decision to give him that chance.
And how far can he hit a baseball?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you who he hit it off of, but that third deck is in danger. So if your porch is up there, you got to have your glove.
Tanner Franklin did give us the freshman's name who he hit the first home run off of.
Dude, it's good. And again, you got a kid that's played in Omaha, and all he wants to do is use his last year to get another run at it. And you guys can say it for me, but it feels pretty unfair if he doesn't.
Yeah, and he's been in East Tennessee before at Walter State, where he was probably one of the best JUCO hitters of all time. So, if Diego Pavia has earned that right as a former JUCO player, I think Alberto Osuna probably has to.
Agreed. And I'm obviously biased to it, so I will preface that. But if you got to meet the kid, and I think if that might be where this is another tangent. That could be where the disconnect is with the NCAA is like, yeah, it's the kids, it's the kids, the kid. Well, get to know the kids. Like, I know it's probably harder than it looks, but read the waiver. I mean,
Right.
it was filed again. You refer to Tony's presser for anything else, but our school, our administration has done an unbelievable job of supporting Alberto and his family and us as a staff. And he did what feel like is the right thing. Again, this is off the record. I'm not speaking. I'm just speaking as Ross Kivett. If my daughter, I would
Got to
say
say this is recorded.
I would say the same thing. Well, it's okay that's recorded. I'm saying like coach's hat off. If my daughter had this opportunity, I would have had her do the exact same thing that Diego too, but Alberto's family has done in getting the right representation and getting a voice and fighting for the free Berto.
And you don't have to comment on this, Ross, but I mean, if I'm the NCAA and what I know has already come across my desk about the University of Tennessee, I'm probably just signing off on anything that has their name on it at this point.
Well, I don't know. It might be a double-edged sword for us because there has been so many situations where, again, I'll spin it this way. I just think it's because it's a lot of really smart people, and it's a lot of really good people in one room and have the right resources, and they work their ass off. Like that's what no one wants to talk about in this is like our people just work harder and
Yeah.
just because they find different avenues doesn't mean it's wrong. It's within the rules. And Danny White will talk about that. We work within the rules harder than anybody else in the country, and that's why it is how it's going like it's going.
Yeah.
And no one's dumb enough. Like Tony says it, I've said it. It's an old Romans deal, but like pride comes before the fall, and there's no ego in that building. They just work, and it's a compliment to Danny and his staff, his support staff, his senior staff, and the way that it trickles all the way down to coaches to managers. I mean, our managers work harder than Florida's managers, and that's no slight. I'm sure they work hard too, but it's just kind of why people are attracted to this place. Dude, we have nice, fancy stuff. We have great resources, but everything here is earned. Every single sport. You think Rick Barnes doesn't make you earn it?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like you don't think Kim Caldwell makes you earn it? I mean, that's 60 minutes of hell.
Right.
You don't think that Karen Weekly is making you earn it? I mean, come on, man. This is a place built by Pat Summit. If you don't work here, you don't last here. So don't punish us because we're out working people. And
Yeah.
I say work more than anything because that is controlled. And Danny has passed that to Josh, who's passed that down because Tony said this before. You go as the football coach goes, and you go as the athletic director goes. And both of them work so good together and they kind of set the pace. They're like the rabbit in the Kentucky Derby where you got to catch it. And I just feel like we're getting punished because we work hard. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And it's not just us. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I probably shouldn't. There's others around the country in all sports that are fighting the same fight. Like, hey, this comes out in December. People are sitting at different places going, well, why not me?
Right.
Why not me? I fit these bill. I fit this bill, this blanket. Like, why not me? So I don't know. Probably too much into it, but at the end of the day, I just want what's best for Berto because that's who we've emotionally invested into, and it's just a great kid, man. It really is. And when you guys get around him, when he finally is eligible, you're gonna say, okay, he was right. Like just a sweetheart of a kid. Now killer in between the lines, but sweetheart of a kid.
I've never said
Okay.
you were wrong, so I believe you. I'm with you.
Thanks.
I'm
That's
with
my
you.
tangent. I just even when I was at Houston, man, and you'd hear the stuff, and it's not just baseball, like every sport, you're sitting there going, I know where that place was, and I know how they work. I
Right.
just do. And I think that's why you should fan hard. That's why. And you're allowed to be critical as a fan. Like, here's my memo for baseball season. Absolutely, because like you said, you're paying money to go. But you could pick on Tony. He can handle it. He's a big boy. Decisions. We're never going to make all the great decisions. You're never, you don't win the national championship every year. But those kids give so much, man. Like, and I'm sure you're sitting there going, well, every sport says it. But, dude, it's just different here. Like, they do.
Yeah.
I've seen a Rick Barnes practice. I've heard of a Josh Heupel practice. And I've seen Carrot Weekly's practice, boys. That is, some of our guys aren't handling that. So I know what the standard is, and when I wake up at 9:15, I know I'm late, but I have to live up to that standard when I pull into that building.
Yeah. The only time I'll be critical is if you send Berto to second base and he gets thrown out by a mile. I'll be a little critical.
It's gonna happen, and then we'll read the tweet on here in June, and I'm gonna laugh at you and go, "What do you want me to do? Have even the slow kid at first base?"
Yeah, you're just trying to pump up the stats. He hit 25 home runs. What do you want?
Well, it's easier to score from second than first, so if we have a chance, we probably got to get him there. Yeah. So, dude, I'm gonna get so many people thrown out, and you'll get maybe one or two. I mean, it comes with the territory. But
I like that you own it here, but you don't own it in the locker room, right? You're like, hey, man, you got to be better.
No, I go, Tony. Why didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, did we not have replay?
He was out by a mile. Check it. I want to see it. I didn't get to see it in real time.
He got under the tag.
Is it easier getting people thrown out from like at second base than it is like home?
No, third base coach is the hardest spot on the field. It's so much more responsibility because you don't get.
It's so damn fun to send them to.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It comes with it. But, guys, you don't get points for touching second. You get points for touching home.
Yeah.
So that's why there's more pressure on that guy.
I mean, Elander, I don't know if he admits he might have made a mistake in Omaha, but it led to one of the best slides in college baseball.
No, you have to send him there. You have to.
Is there a mold for a statue out in, like the ticket area yet for him?
Well, he's got a hold on. I gotta turn my Wi-Fi on. No, but he's got a documentary coming out.
I saw that.
Isn't that cool?
We were supposed to go to Alaska with him if we won the national championship. So,
then he decided to play baseball again.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't retirement.
I'm glad he did. He did. I'm excited for his last run, man. I'm excited to see how he does.
Does he feel like the kind of de facto leader of this team? Like, does he have kind of the attitude of I know it's not going to be quite like I guess the way maybe it's just playing center field, but Drew Gilbert's 101. But does it kind of feel the same way? And like,
well, no one's Drew Gilbert,
right?
He's just tough, man. Just tough. Like,
I think that's why it looks from the outside looking in, it looks like that'd be an easy guy to go, yeah, that's our guy.
Well, if we all play like him, we're gonna have a decent year.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of sets that tempo. So yeah, de facto by the way he plays, he's not the loudest guy in the room. But I think guys follow him, which is good. I'm glad they do. He's a good guy to follow. And
Who is the loudest guy in the room?
Al Fisher, New Jersey, freaking Paulie D. He's the loudest guy on earth. It's not even the room. I've never met someone that talks more than me.
I see his TikTok, so he's animated.
Sure. God, he's going to be working with LeBron and Universal Studios after this. He's the loudest guy on earth. But I'm glad we have him. Love him.
Yeah.
Hey, I have another tweet that's not your tweet necessarily, but it is about you. I wanted to bring up.
Oh, is it about the fat kid jersey?
No, but I want to know about this. This is a compliment. Gosh, you can't get away with anything here. Landon, I don't know if you knew this, but Kalen Culpepper, I think that's how you say his name, of Kansas State, he hit for the cycle this year in their regional. He was the
Good
first player at Kansas State since, do you know who, to hit for the cycle?
Against Nebraska, 2014.
That's a long time. 11 years.
That was in 2 games.
What was it? 2013?
Yeah. It was 2014. It's 2014.
Okay. 2014. That's still,
Yeah.
10 years.
To be fair, Culpepper did it in 2 days because there was a rain delay.
They don't put they don't put that in the stat sheet.
I got to do it off the same guy.
Did you kind of own that moment? Did you call him like when trying to think, you see like the Hall of Famers?
Culpepper should hate me. And here's a fun fact. He came to camp at Tennessee. He's from Memphis.
I was about to say 2 Tennessee kids, right? Is that you're a Tennessee kid now?
The center fielder was from Jake Rucker's high school, Good Pasture High School, and we did go after. He chose Kansas State, so that's okay. No harm, no foul. Culpepper, that's a miss, coach. And we have those. If
you say he wasn't good enough,
it got put across my desk. And I didn't say he wasn't good enough. Don't put words in my mouth.
Landed, if the fact that this was a miss, you should see this dude. He's a grown ass man.
Oh yeah, he played in Lindsey Nelson last year.
Oh, I forgot we played K-State
because Dean Curley hit for. He almost had.
That's right.
Dean
Curley did hit for this cycle, didn't he?
He is an animal.
Yeah.
Culpepper. Oh, he throws a Hey, he beat me at Houston. He is an absolute freak.
I'm telling you right now, if I'm a recruiter, and I'd probably be wrong more times than I was right, but if a kid like that pops up on my desk, offer immediately. Whatever he's got to do to come.
You guys don't want to talk about Garrett Crochet or any of those guys. Let's just talk about the misses.
I'm just saying. Have you ever heard Jason Swain talk about grown-ass man test or whatever he calls it? Like, father of how many? Like, this is a grown-ass man.
Let's not get too weird about this, but I'm talking like physicality, hands, like. He is an absolute dude.
But took him 2 days to hit for the cycle. Ross Kivett only took him 1.
That's right. And I played with old bats. Old bats, old balls, not these juiced ones Blake Burke was hitting out, flicking them out of the yard, Oppo.
You should start anytime someone, probably not going to happen again for 10 years, so you got a while to think on this, but you should just make it about you. And you should call down to the locker room and be like, let me congratulate him and make like a promo video for you. They got to cut you in.
They should show my highlight every time.
Like, hey, listen, welcome to the club. It's a small one. It's an honor.
I feel really bad because I just literally talked about myself for 1 hour and 35 minutes when you guys probably wanted to preview what our season's going to look like.
Dude,
how did you feel about the first 2 starters? I obviously told you how I feel about Marcus. What a good story.
Yeah, that's
Marcus.
That's awesome.
Speaking of like first guy off the bus energy, to see him get that out. That's gonna be a scary dude.
So good, dude. He doesn't miss those guys. He just gets them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think I was surprised, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because last year, like, obviously you saw the stuff, you saw the velo. It just wasn't put together. I thought he would be a bullpen guy. Like, I thought if he figured it out, like, he would be kind of a closer, but he did start a lot in junior college, didn't he?
I think that, yes. I think the best thing for him is just in between the years, like the growth since June. Since the World Series ended, just taking accountability for his career. I'm just proud of him, man. Like, so cool.
Yeah.
And draft pick, like, let's knock on wood. Let's stay healthy and have a good year, but, like, draft pick, so cool.
Yeah.
Liam Doyle, that weird lefty, like, so cool. Like,
oh, dude, he absolutely shoved last year against us.
No pressure on him. Good player. Quentin, Coach Q, huge asset for him. Bodies completely changed.
He looked taller.
Well, he's taller. Beth would kill me, the dietitian. I think it's because it's better shape. He just looks taller. I mean, that dude is jacked now.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not that far from the mound. No big deal when I sit there. I didn't.
You're bad. You can afford it. Talent tax, Danny. Just let it rip, kid. I can afford that.
I'm having to put 60 hours a week in at work just to pay for it.
I'll pay for my nachos.
No, I will not do that. That's where I draw the line.
Oh man!
But he did look like, I thought he was just like a short, chubby lefty, but he's like
dude,
he's like a legit
6'4".
6'3". Yeah, 6'3".
Yeah, he's probably 6'3", but like physical and just dude work. Like again, if you come to Tennessee, this is not a recruiting pitch. Like you have to be willing to work in every sport and administration period, and he did. Really happy for him. And then I think they kind of gives you some options out of the pen, and then we'll see who Sunday is. I truly do not know, or I would tell you.
Could you give us some options of like who it could be? Like who's, because Coons is definitely one, right?
He could be one. I mean, I'm really happy with him. Another guy that as a young kid taking control of his career.
What's with Tennessee and freshmen? I mean, it seems like every year they have a couple freshmen that just like
look at who's evaluating them, man. The boss,
and then they don't miss, do they?
No, him and Frank are so good at it, and then Josh isn't far behind, and I mean, dude, honestly, like, not to make it about me again, but I am. Big part of the reason I'm coming back is like I want to be good at this recruiting thing. Yeah. And in order to do that, you kind of got to get some of the ins and outs of like what they look for and who they know, and like when you're going out, like what's your focus, and they obviously are pretty good at it. Frank doesn't do it for 40 years without it.
Which I'm sure there's a little bit of kind of intuition, natural,
trusting
just talent
people
for it. But it's a science. At the end of the day, like it's a science. They've got a method they've figured out. Like,
well, it's hard to get distracted when you wear a hood all the time. It's just
he's got blinders on.
Yeah, it's just right.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have the hood up Friday. You already know it.
Oh, 100%.
Well, it is. I mean, I don't blame him.
He'll have the hood up through May.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, I told him he can't cough if he's gonna sit in here. I told him that.
He got the look.
I can't believe he's still up. It's 11.
It's getting late.
Yeah. I think the other thing too is like you guys are gonna really like Gavin Keelan. He's the Louisville transfer. He's
double machine. Is that right?
Wow, just great kid, hard worker. You notice kind of the trend of guys that I like. That doesn't mean I just like the guys that work. Dude, some freshmen. How about
you just hate Andrew Fisher?
No, I love him. He's just the loudest guy ever. I love him. I think he's poised to have a good year as well. He's a pro.
Yeah.
What freshman do you like the most? Because there's some to choose from. How about Newstrom coming on late?
Yeah, I like
blue collar dirtbag. He runs the base.
I like Levi Clark.
Yeah, big power. I love Abernathy, just skill set guy.
I mean, he looks like he's going to be a leadoff at some point. I don't know.
Oh yeah, but he's got that pizzazz, dude. He's got that like.
Is he the fastest on the team too?
Yes, he might be the fastest since Charleston. Ferguson, and Abernathy are probably the three fastest. Seth Stevenson. Yeah, I wasn't here for him, but those guys can fly. He can scoot, man. He'll playing time. Manny Marin, how about him taking Marcus deep? That's a grown man swing. Excited about him too. I like Ariel Antigua. I think he's shown some maturity, and I think he's coming on pretty good here.
What about that glove? It doesn't get any better than that, does it?
I'd still be playing if I could do that.
Yeah.
I will to the day I die. Probably, I don't know, inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, I guess. But to bring on Antigua in the 9th of the College World Series,
dude,
final game, the stones on Vitello, and then Antigua. I know I don't
landed.
I don't think he got the guy out at first.
You got the arch on the west side.
Oh man!
Wow.
Sorry, go on. I cut you off.
No, you're good. I'm liking this crib store, but I mean,
Sorry,
I don't think
I had to get my charger. We've freaking been going.
Yeah.
You guys ever meet Ruby?
No. Oh,
Oh,
I've seen pictures. Yeah, I have.
she's
That's my
snoozing.
firstborn.
But I think he kept a guy at first though, getting a ball down. I don't think he got him out. Still a phenomenal play to not get a guy in a scoring position. Yeah, I don't. Do you know the play I'm talking about, Landon, in the 9th? Is that right?
I don't know what you're talking.
I think he made a hell of a play to get a ball down.
He makes some plays that they're impressive.
I think virtually though, like I said, that decision was pretty inconsequential, but just the stones.
Yeah, dude. But Stones to put him in and then Stones to do it. Like, what? Kid's a gamer. I'm excited for him. I think he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder too, which is important. But I don't want to speak for any of them. I just am telling you how I see it. Who else did I want to talk to you guys about?
Who's a closer? Who's some? Is it? I heard a Ryan Combs could be.
That's one thing. Please refer to Tony's press conference. I'm not supposed to talk about that in case Hofstra's listening, but I think he'll be in the mix.
Okay.
And there's some others. I mean, dude, we got a freaking Swiss Army knife in Sneed.
Was it Combs or Tegan Coons that he stared at the opposing dugout the other day?
That was Combsy. Coonsy, he's not there yet.
Oh, okay.
He's got some.
You're not that guy, pal.
But he's not there yet. He knows Fisher would have climbed over the rail and tackled him. He's skinny still.
Okay.
Oh, that's who's the psycho who looks like just the cold-blooded killer born for it right now.
I think Combs has a good chance. I mean, Sneed to me, like, I'm fascinated by him because he's such a talented player and arm, and I think he's got some crazy in him. This is so mean, but kind of looks like the villain in Billy Madison, like the
one that's crossing off with lipstick. That one?
No, not Buscemi, dude. He looks like the guy that like gets the spelling bee wrong.
Oh,
at the end.
Yeah.
He pulls out the gun.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He just kind of got that crazy in him. Wisconsin kid, though, so tough, like blue collar state. Hey, Reese Chapman, excited for him to get some.
That's my breakout player.
Bargo, excited for him too.
Okay.
And there's more. I hope these guys aren't like, oh, Kiv didn't mention.
What about Tanner Franklin? He was on the pod recently.
Buddy, he's coming on pretty good. It's been good. Again, like tribute to Frank hanging with you and a transfer portal kid getting used to the system because our system is a little different. But really, really good spring training. Hoping he carries that confidence over and he throws the ball well. But I like him. Great kid, right? Like you had him on.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Jefferson County's finest.
And then there's that's right. Couple other guys. I mean, there's some like Arvidsson and Crabtree and Breedlove, like those guys, junior college guys, let's get their feet wet early and see what they can do. But those are good arms.
But Hunley's another one.
I love Sean so much that it's hard not to love his brother, right? Really good spring training, determined, and you can't really gauge that. That's a barometer that doesn't really matter to anyone outside of a coach, probably, is determination, but not afraid, throws the ball in there. So excited for him too. And, I'll let you guys see it. There'll be some guys that are left-handed that didn't get a lot of time last year that we're going to run out there and you're going to go, this is interesting. And, we'll text about it when you see him.
Okay. Another guy I'm intrigued about is Cannon Peoples, kind of on that Marcus Phillips, same kind of thing. Like you see the talent, it's obviously there. It's kind of got to put together, when the game's on. And maybe a little bit of between the ears stuff going on last year too, maybe.
I think maybe some big expectations that, if you feel pressure in this game and as a guy that let that eat him up, like I can say that he's worked through that. And not to quote Jim Harbaugh, but he's working through some things right now. But he's going to get in there and it'll be full go here soon. But him and Stone have pushed each other and others, but those two guys have really pushed each other, and we're confident with them. But Cannon, I think he's gonna do it, man. Like it's gonna take consistent reps of success plus failure and handling both. And when he does that, dude, you don't just mistakenly hit 20 home runs as a freshman in the ACC. Like that just doesn't. You don't wait. I don't have 20 home runs in my college career, and I was Player of the Year. So like, Caleb, come on, that was good.
No, I like that you dropped in
you're
that you're a
missing
Player
it.
of the Year. No, I like that.
You must not have a 6-week-old, because this feels like 5 o'clock for me right now.
I don't have a 6-week-old, but
I'm excited about Cannon Peoples and another kid that dude, everyone will tell you when he's not playing last year, he's an ultimate teammate and he's cheering on Cal Stark and he's helping. He had some big at bats in big situations. So he's battle tested and he's endured trials and tribulations. It's time. Like it's time. And he knows that, and he is not gonna let that suffocate him. He's gonna use that. And he will be an X factor, just like some of your other guys, which is cool. I think it's sometimes with coaching you want to not say things to you guys, technically the media, even though I feel like we're just having a convo, like but I don't feel like that's added pressure to them. Like they know, and I think there's just a different mentality as far as like embrace and use it as positive instead of suffocate. And that has been extremely noticeable for not just Cannon, for others.
And I know
is he picking a side, or are we left-handed, or are we still switching? Or
well, what do you want to do when you hit 5 each side in the fall?
Yeah,
I mean, he hit 10 home runs in the fall, 5 each side. What are we supposed to do?
I'm with you. I don't know.
I think he's a weapon, and I hope he clips that. I hope he clips this and he listens to it when he wakes up every morning, because he's a weapon.
Should we doubt him? Is that what we should do? A little reverse psychology?
No, please don't.
Okay.
Come on, I just talked about fanning hard and being positive and letting us find our identity as a team.
But I'm also into doing whatever it takes for
whatever
us
it
win.
takes.
Yeah.
Well, you just keep paying your talent fee.
Yeah. Is it going to be 20% next year?
I just want on record that I support whatever Danny White wants to do. Okay. But I don't think it'll be 20%.
Smart.
Okay.
He's signing the checks. I like that.
He signs the checks, and hey, I got a house in Hardin Valley because I got to pay for this thing.
Because I might be to the point where I just cash in on those tickets that you're willing to give us.
It's only Tuesdays because my family comes in on Saturdays.
Yeah, Fridays. That's fine.
So you're going to one game a week. You're going to miss.
I feel like your
you can open the gate.
I feel like your brother would have us up there, so I don't know why you're.
You can open the gate.
I don't think my brother has the right credential to allow you guys up there.
I don't know, man.
We have media credentials from a while ago that we can maybe.
I was going to ask, why don't you guys use your media credentials?
We can't wear orange.
Oh, that's not fun.
It's weird. I went up there one time.
That's fair though. That's fair.
Yeah. I can't be a fan up there.
You can't be a fan up there.
And I got to sit up there with Ben McKee and Eric Kane, and I'm just out.
Come
and
on,
Mike
those
Wilson.
are my friends. I have other friends than just you guys.
I'm just kidding. I love those guys. We love those guys.
Yeah, they like your guys' stuff.
Me and Eric Kane were teammates in college.
No way.
Yeah.
I hope he's aggressive on the Wednesday news.
Oh, he probably will be. He'll probably be all over it.
Hope he's aggressive.
You did a episode with him, right?
I did a 5-minute with him. He asked good questions, very pointed questions. He kept my ADD at bay. It wasn't 2 hours.
He's actually a capital G journalist. He's actually good at his job.
Yeah, we fake it. He actually does it.
Yeah, he's good. He has good questions. Yeah. I think, again, like, this isn't a slight at anywhere else I've been. I just think everybody here, like, it's just pro. Like McKee, Wilson, Kane, everybody. Like they're just pros.
Well, yeah, and they've done it forever too. So
yeah, and you just feel like I felt like I was in big league spring training. That's what it felt like, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. So you want more 5-minute questions?
Well, not on this podcast. I don't come on. I come on here to be myself.
Okay.
And,
how do we
you guys clip stuff that helps us recruit and doesn't make me look like an idiot?
There you go.
We'll do both. We'll do both.
That's Joey. So shout out Joey for getting us the
welcome. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to Rocky Top.
He's a senior this year, so he might graduate and leave us. So we're trying to keep him.
He's been here forever. Well, you're gonna have to sell more merch if you're gonna keep him.
I know.
Agree.
So what's our plan on the merch?
We need like a slogan that Tennessee won't write us a letter about.
Ooh, good luck.
Yeah. Their lawyers are better than ours, unfortunately.
I know.
I think we make
I shouldn't say
like
that.
a shirt that it's very obvious that we're trying to rip off something with Tennessee just to make sure they know that we exist.
Yeah, just so
I'm opposite. I don't want to be on their radar. I
don't either.
To never know who I am.
In the weeds. You know my theory, dude. Stay in the weeds.
Until I do. We joke that me and Danny White have a meeting every Monday morning, unless he'd give me that meeting, and he doesn't have to. I want to listen to be heard. I don't want to necessarily. He doesn't have to listen and implement. Just hear me out. Just say, hey, give me the common fan perspective.
Yeah,
and that's it. And then he doesn't have to do anything I say. That's fine.
Wasn't Danny text a buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna tell you to text a buddy. You want a Danny story? You know how I know he has no idea I exist? Today I made a joke because he was walking out of the cafeteria with the salad because he's in good shape. I don't know if you guys have seen him lately.
He's fit.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, making me feel bad. Like I had chicken wings for lunch. And he was like, yeah, this is a salad. And I was like, yeah, that's the joke. He was like,
have you thought about that interaction
GA
all day?
Talking to me. Someone get the GA away from me. What are you doing?
This is like a Redmond story. Like, who's this manager?
I was like, why is the manager throwing innings right now? It's Redmond. Just the SEC all-time saves leader. Oh, man, I can really pick them. Look at me, Culpepper and Redmond. Just looking like
you're killing it.
And I'm sending Greg Vitello to Kansas City.
Well, you know the bad. Tennessee hired you again.
I know, it's my charisma. They can't get away from me.
Yeah, you're running a racket in Hardin Valley is what you're doing.
Or you got a lot of secrets.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
No, don't start that.
How's the football team here, Hardin Valley?
Yeah, they're not good.
We're up and coming.
They're 6A, so it doesn't get any.
We have a sick field though.
It's every Knox County school has that field, except with. Or do you just like the color way?
Well, I just like that me and my wife can walk around it on Sundays.
You can come to South Dual like that. Same thing.
You want to hear what's crazy? I saw a dude in 2013. So this is in your prime. I saw a guy run a mile in 4 minutes and 12 seconds on that track.
Go Hawks!
Which is insane.
How's our soccer team?
They've lost to South Oil before.
Chad Zerker.
If you need
here's a good story about Hardin Valley soccer. My senior year, we played them way better than us. Way better. It was awful weather, like this out here right now. Like this probably would have been about the time of day or the time of year it was playing.
It's 70 and sunny in Knoxville every day.
That's right. It was like sleeting when we went to play them, and we went up 1-0 like 4 minutes into the game, real early. They won 7-1.
Oh, so we're good.
They're good, but they don't have a state championship. Actually, they do. They have one. I'll take that back.
Better.
Look at that. Up and coming football.
The very first year they were in existence. Haven't won since. It's all been downhill since.
Well, it's hard when you do it the first year.
I agree.
But if you have any recruits at South Dual, you need us to go take video, you let us know.
I will do that. I also could probably just drive to Virginia and see it. That was a joke that you're far from me because I'm a West
Oh,
Sider.
I was about to say.
I said Virginia. I was confused.
You
but
guys
yeah.
are far from me.
Yeah.
I do need to do. You bring up a good point, and this is probably a PSA. Like I need to do better in the area as far as like getting to some high school games. So when March 1st opens up, that's what I'll do. I'll start going around the area, and I'll check out South Doyle. And if there's a guy that I need you to get a second opinion on, I'll have you go over there and grab some video.
Okay. Yeah, the coach there was teammates of Zert.
Yeah.
Matt Kirkland.
he was a freshman his junior year.
I have met Matt.
Okay.
At an establishment where there's beverages.
Okay. Okay.
I think Matt wasn't he committed to Tennessee before going pro?
Yeah.
Isn't that correct?
Correct. That's how I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah.
He signed. Okay. Hey, if we bring back the basketball team from remember when Zerk was on that basketball team we played in that church league? Would you guys play?
I'm in.
Yeah, I've got some Jordans ready to go.
Okay. I got Kyrie Irving, so I'm ready.
It's Wednesday nights.
I'm in, even better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna put us in I can't do the spring, obviously, but I'm gonna put us in the late summer session. And then if you do the summer session, you have to do the fall or winter. So let's do the winter.
Okay. Basketball season. I like it.
Hoops.
Yeah.
Axis. Is it Axis or Axel?
Axel. That's probably one of your leading sponsors, so you should know that. Hey, you're gonna see their signs everywhere.
They also won the church league like 3 straight years. So
they're a team, so it doesn't count.
Well, they're good. All those guys played. Well,
that's where Zerke's at, right? Doesn't he work there?
Yes, he is. Okay. But he doesn't. He's not a hoopster.
He's not a hooper.
He can't jump.
So you brought up
fastball.
You brought up church league hoops. So can I read another tweet I found?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
He's a Big J journal.
Ask him about. This is from at Rocky Top Ross, April 7th, 2022. Ask him about, this is in response to, not sure, but you tagged a few people here, including Chad Zerker. Ask him about the Knoxville Church League hoops, the rim jobs, and if he played good defense.
That was our team name.
The rim jobs?
Yeah. I used all 5 fouls and played really good defense.
You can't take them with you.
No chance. I'm talking now wife, then girlfriend, so embarrassed about watching this, left multiple times.
Seems fair.
Left, and then said, maybe it was a one-time thing. Tried it again, left. Brutal. Just old dudes yelling at each other, washed up, like fouling, meet me in the parking lot, like that kind of stuff.
I don't do well in those environments.
Well, but I do that now. I'm zen, dude.
Yeah, I will see, but I think that guys don't like that I don't want to fight, and I'm just incredibly sarcastic and pretty much like, yeah, why? I mean, none of us have jobs to go to tomorrow. We're not all adults here. Why wouldn't we fight over this basketball game that a 16-year-old's reffing with probably eating Reese's and drinking a Coke?
Making $11 a game.
Yeah, we should all be really fired up about this right now.
I mean, Landon pays more for his tickets than that kid makes the whole season reffing. Come on, dude.
I mean, quadruple.
We should use the team name to be a little bit more appropriate.
Do you know how much my tickets are by chance?
No, but I'd like to know. I mean, I could take it to the people for you. I just can't promise a response.
Yeah.
What is your?
He doesn't even respond to your lunch order. He's not talking to you about this.
What are your tickets going for?
It's about $2,500 a seat.
Okay.
It used to be like $400.
It used to be a pack of pencils and some box tops.
You do know the president of our school is like one of the better businessmen ever.
Yeah, I know why.
Is that why the taxpayers are buying his stadium?
To
Well,
The
let's
people who
not get into
don't sit in those
politics.
seats
This
and
is
pay
not
for
a
them and don't care
political.
Just
about it.
kidding. I had
This
you. I'm
is
sorry.
not a political chat.
Randy Boyd, South Knoxville guy. I'm not actually dogging him.
I was going to pay him a compliment of being a South Knoxville guy.
Yeah.
One of the brighter guys I've ever met, by the way.
I thought you were going to say from South Knoxville, which is
From
definitely
South
accurate.
Knoxville. Are you gonna do? I hope I'm not blowing his spot up, but how about the Zerker's shrimp boil? You guys gonna do that this year, South Knox?
I'm
We haven't been
unaware of
invited.
this event.
Oh, it's a big deal. I'm excited to be back. It's a big deal over Memorial Day.
Okay.
We'll just tell him we'll be there.
We do owe him, like, he does want to play golf with us, so we need to play golf.
He's
and
good.
then-
He's good at golf.
yeah, that man's good at everything he does.
He could shoot the 3-pointer too on the.
Yeah.
I don't know what our team name is, but I'm a father now. We can't be that. We can't be
Okay.
the Jobs.
Well, what's a better name?
I mean, what do you guys? Let's brainstorm this. Why don't we put a poll up?
Okay. Yeah, Paul.
What should our name be? It's probably going to be the "you talk too muchers."
Who supplies
Or
the
the
jerseys?
we could do more important issues. How about that? We kind of
Okay.
sponsor it.
Well, it'll help us sell merch, tank
Yeah,
tops
yeah.
for the spring.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Why don't you do that when the weather gets nice? You're selling Vol baseball tank tops.
We
for the
said
Saints.
reversible. I wanted to do reversible jerseys like we would wear on a basketball court.
Agreed. I think that's good merch and it's unique and creative.
Sold.
Hey, look, I will get in better shape, not best shape, and I will wear one.
Okay.
In the
I
dugout.
will.
What
I
size?
will wear one during BP.
What size?
Deal.
Buddy, you're gonna expose me like this? I just told you I was Luka Doncic.
Yeah, you said 270.
It's not that bad, but it's. Look. We were both pregnant.
We're both-
Sympathy Wade.
You told us that you were going to get in shape. You're going to start running.
Well, I got the Peloton back in the garage, and I've been hitting it once a week.
You own a Peloton? How much are they paying?
West
you?
Knoxville. It comes with a house.
It's
probably.
public, cuz it's public.
It comes with a house.
Now the most Googled thing is assistant baseball coach salary. How
Yeah, I
does this
can't-
guy afford the house in Howard Valley?
My favorite change is the last time you were here, everyone's like, get the third paid assistant, pay Ross. Now it's gonna be like, we pay this dumbass every time you send a guy to second and he gets thrown.
This guy, he makes how much?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the first one to say it. I just want to warn you. The first
Oh,
time a
dude.
guy gets thrown out of second, I'll be like, do you know how much that man makes?
Dude, I think that's so funny. Oh my God. We buried the lead. R.I.P. Hot Chili.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What
tough
the
one.
heck?
To Nebraska,
went-
who
he
you
went
hit
home,
the
I mean-
cycle against.
Yeah.
Yeah, suck it. No,
Yeah, he was
that's
going
his,
back home.
That's his home. So who's replacing him?
I think Coach Chop will be your
Ah,
outside linebackers coach.
good.
You know Coach Chop?
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Dude, y'all should team up. Really good recruiter. Probably
Well,
our best recruiter.
Good learner. I riddle myself a good learner. I would happily chat with him about recruiting.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
So-
the guy like in the weeds. No one knows who he is, but he's probably Tennessee's best recruiter.
Do you think Lane Kiffin's a good recruiter? Genuine question.
He's got to be, right?
I don't know if he's like a top, but yeah, I think he's good.
I do too. I just think like come to the sip, like everyone, he always is stirring the pot.
I think he's definitely good at getting eyes on him. Yes, 100%. Probably one of the best at that. Good or bad, you be the judge. I don't know.
He usually
Well,
gets the most out of his quarterbacks.
I can't stand him, and it does all go back to 2009. Like that's
You're
the
allowed-
catalyst.
yeah.
That's the catalyst of it.
Completely agree.
But I also think there's an element to it of you love him if he's your guy, you despise him if it's not. Like I think that's probably the case for a lot of people that aren't Tennessee fans too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like being in Mississippi, like you kind of have to be that way, or no one's gonna pay attention to you.
Sure. I'm always like the reversible jersey tops. I'm trying to think of different ways because remember, there's rule changes, and we could talk about this at a later date. But with all these rule changes, it is going to equal out a little bit. at least amongst our league. So to
Mhm.
win the battles against the, what most would assume are the traditional powerhouses, you got to get a little bit innovative.
Yeah.
So I just think that's one of the things that I've been looking at since December.
So are you going back to Twitter? I know you're a big emoji guy right now, but is that it?
Yeah, that's kind of the cat call right now.
Okay.
I think there's others in the league that have something, so I kind of just wanted to bring it back. I won't do any GIF or anything, or GIF, however you say it. I'll stick with those two emojis, the cool
Okay.
orange.
I'm gonna make a GIF of you, and I will reply to every single time that you do that with a GIF of you.
Okay. Is it
Is
gonna
it-
let me guess?
which one?
It's gonna be with the not skinny jersey on. That's my guess.
Until you give me something else, I gotta
No,
use that.
there is a good clip of him because I watched the Drew Gilbert walk off the other day. It came up on my YouTube or TikTok one, and I'm sure there were a lot of F bombs yelled, but I didn't realize you just kind of like you do run up a little bit, but you kind of just turn around to the Legends of Lindsey Nelson and just point, and I would assume F bombs
because
flew.
they were getting a little negative, and I always supported them. And I think my exact quote was, "I told you, I told you." Because
Gabe, do you know that's the first time, and I think the only time I ever cussed in front of my saint of a grandmother? I was watching the game at her house, and I was watching on my phone because I think it was SEC Network, so I had it on my phone. And one of those where like I'm not really watching the game at this point. Like
Is this the Gilbert?
I'm not dialed in. The Gilbert walk off.
No, we were at the beach.
I was not with you, but
you were at the beach because you couldn't afford those tickets yet.
Didn't invite me.
Are
but
you
I was
sure?
100%. I have people who can vouch for that.
What do we need an alibi for your buddy here?
I don't know. I mean, you can
My
look.
bad.
I did not go to the beach with you that year.
Dang.
Have you been to the beach with him? If this is the
it's been a while. I think the last time was a cruise in like 2018.
You didn't go. Oh, you didn't go to Dirty Mert with us, did you? Damn.
I don't think I was invited, Give, on that trip.
Damn, dude.
Sorry.
Yeah,
this is a tough.
I know.
Segment.
But yeah,
Sorry.
I just I kind of had it in my lap, and I looked down, and I just went, "Holy shit!" And
No way.
First time, and I think only time I ever cussed in front of her.
And that'll be the only time.
Yeah, it will be.
Oh no, that's a bad.
I had to land it. I had to land
bad.
it. That's okay.
Oh, that was.
No, I had to land that one. You don't need to feel bad.
Oh. Can I tell you my emotions right now?
Yeah, I just hope you don't feel bad because then I'm gonna feel bad.
One, I'm so proud of you for saying that because that was so good. Two, I feel
Thank
so
you.
bad.
No, don't. No. I mean, other than making me cuss in front of my grandma, that should make you feel awful.
Okay, before I leave here, tell me your guys' predictions. 56. I just want the 56 games. What do you got?
I'm bad at picking baseball wins.
It's hard. It's the hardest sport to do it.
Because especially some of those midweeks. And I think you guys play ETSU and Tennessee Tech. And I don't know what each of them have this year. But
North Alabama's on there. Xavier, that's a double.
I was gonna say there's another big, there's a big opponent on there. So some of those get weird, and then I mean
Minute Maid's weird because it's just different stadium, different teams, people are juiced.
You got the Bonnies.
Bonnies, very interesting Friday night starter for the Bonnies.
Okay. But there's not like a Kansas State. Club. There's not like a Kansas State, it's not like a big Power 4 program that y'all.
That's what I was looking for.
I do not believe that's on this schedule. No, I think I will say I think our league is as strong as it's ever been, and it is a very loaded away schedule. If that gives you guys,
I will say this, and baseball usually does this because of travel, but it works out where just about every single in-state team you can play, Lipscomb, Belmont, Tech, Johnson City, ETSU.
Yep.
Like all those teams are on the schedule, and I think that's really cool. That's
no Austin P. Austin P on
no
there.
AP.
No. That's a thing.
Is Minute Maid a new name?
Yeah, it's Dyken. I
was about to say, I didn't know. Yeah,
just happened.
Okay. Yeah,
just happened. Barrow's actually texted me that it just happened. He told me to stop calling it Minute Maid. It was Minute Maid when I lived there 8 months ago. So I still technically live there. I mean, you could stay at the house. All right, so come on, give me one.
I'm gonna go. You said how many games is there?
I just want your regular season total. 56 games.
56. I'm gonna go. I'll go 40-16.
Okay.
You think that's realistic?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I was floating like the 40, 46 mark. For some reason, you said 56, right?
You said 46 and 10?
46 and 10.
So the way this team has been talked about.
Okay.
I see a lot of adversity if it comes back end.
Okay. I like that. At least you have what part you have the schedule pulled up because you're a big
I have the schedule.
I'm circling A&M. I'm circling it. That's what I want.
That's a really big swing part of that schedule, probably.
Listen, this is a big compliment to the staff as a whole in the program. I would be shocked if there's ever, not ever. It will shock me if Tennessee swept. Like I don't think there's gonna be a weekend with 3 losses.
Oh, getting swept.
Getting swept.
We've done it before on good teams.
No, I'm aware. I just think this
Missouri.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
We went to Arkansas.
It won't be impossible by any means. But I would just. I mean, it's one of those things that I think it'll be. The problem is you go to A&M, LSU, and Arkansas. Is that the 3 big ones? Ole Miss?
Yes.
You go to Ole Miss?
A&M's at home.
Sneaky. Ole Miss
at home. It's Ole Miss is the big one.
Yep. It's I mean, every SEC schedule's tough, but it's a good one.
Kentucky is here.
Home, I believe.
Kentucky.
Auburn's here.
It is home. Auburn. Home. I think we go to South Carolina.
You go to South Carolina.
That's a good part.
What is South Carolina like this year? I know they've. Well, what's his name there?
Well, they got Maneri's back.
Maneri, yeah.
Intriguing group. First rounder bats in the middle of the order. Always will have pieces. Really good tradition. Sneaky.
Is Petrie there still?
Oh yeah.
How old is this guy? I mean, he's played longer than Asuna.
Free Birdo.
Yeah, he's still playing. Let's get our guy in here.
Good player.
Yeah.
I was gonna have a piece of cheesecake, but you guys asked for my size, and now I'm not going to.
Dude, eat it. I had strawberry cake, so
let's say XL. I can do an XL.
Okay.
XL's fair for a tank top. I'm hoping I'm swimming in it by then. Let's be realistic. Who's our guy that's a senior? What's his name again? It starts with a J. Joey. He ain't getting those tank tops done in the next couple of weeks. So I got some time.
You got time.
I got some time.
Hey, I'm not a math guy. Quick math in my head. I've got you all at 12 losses to end the season.
Okay.
That's counting all the. Again, I'm not going sweat. I'm not starting now.
We will go through the schedule game in my box. Pause. We will do that. Let's hope late June.
Okay.
Late June. So when the season's done.
Not to have you thinking about it too, because you haven't done it yet, correct? Just before
I'm
Friday?
doing it tomorrow. Doing it
tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you've thought about it, or if you have a take, and maybe it's just a thought, you haven't thought about it too deeply. What's the pivotal series for you? Like, what if you looked at it and said,
"Yeah, good question."
I think if we have it clicking here, we have really
Capital
good
J
chance
question.
to
Good question.
parlay that into championships.
This isn't even a cop-out. I respect this league so much, not being in it for the last couple of years, and just there's so many freaking big leaguers in this league. Any weekend, doesn't matter if it's the cellar or the top of the league, is tough. I swear this isn't a rivalry cop-out. That Vanderbilt series, and this is no pressure, I just think that's going to kind of be where you got to start to really go.
You want to. I don't think that's a cop out. It is probably
that's
a little
home.
bit. Yeah.
That is at home. Yeah,
it's probably a little bit later than you'd like to be clicking. Like probably a series or two late.
Agreed.
But you also still have to go to Fayetteville. So
you'll get my point, because I know it's the second last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just make sure your stickers are on the bats.
Yeah. Well, there's new rules on all that stuff now.
Oh, no more stickers?
Let me give you that. That's kind of where I would gauge it, because it's unfair, because I said to do 56, but if you want to play a long time in the postseason, that week prior to Arkansas, and then you go to the SEC tournament, hopefully, then that's like why I say that, because it's who's healthiest, who's moving best, who's strong in the weight room, who's got guys that are starting to really reach their peak offensively, who's keeping velocity and enduring innings on the mound. That's why I said that. If I really wanted to look at it, it would be Auburn, because it's the first week in May, and May is man month. Only men in this league can play in May. That they've endured all of the fall, all the weights. Their bodies can take the changing of the weather, and they can play good baseball in May. So
what about June in Omaha?
Boys
what
are going
does
to
that
beach.
make you?
Well, I haven't done that in a
Legends.
while, so I'm hoping this extra, according to you, hibernation weight is going to be able to last in June.
Hey, another question about later in the season here. And I know the answer, I guess, but I definitely know the coach speak answer.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. Obviously, it's talked about as fans going into Hoover.
Yeah.
Is there either like a thought earlier in the season, or even then when you're mapping it out, like, hey,
No.
if we
No, I know what you're going to ask. No.
Win
Go
it.
for it. Go for it.
No matter what.
No matter what. Go for it.
Like you're throwing everything you got, like it's Omaha at it to win it.
You're just
not pulling punches.
You're not risking anything, but you're not throwing in. It's not jacking around deal.
Well, and I think that's the obvious. I guess that's where I say I know the answer. Like you're not rolling out a guy who hadn't pitched in 3 weeks to do
this
it.
program takes Hoover extremely seriously.
I think that's pretty.
Yeah, but Liam
Tony's
Doyle
made his
isn't
point.
throwing
Tony's made his
in a
point
game
there.
either to win.
No. I mean, not unless there's something special brewing. But he's going. His start is his start. He's going.
Yeah, if you're going to go to Hoover, Alabama, I guess you might as well win the whole thing.
That is the most prestigious tournament in baseball.
Sure.
If you win that, you are amongst, not to Jim Harbaugh,
because of how poorly it's set up,
amongst baseball gods. Remember when he talked about Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant, when you were saying the reason they won was because of signals, but they really had two massive humans disrupting the run and just destroying Michael Penix Jr.
Kiv, I didn't say that.
I'm just saying.
A guy pretty much self-produced a documentary saying that.
I'm not saying you said it. I'm saying Landon said it.
I probably did say it because I trash every team except my own. Which I've gotten texts all night because I sit next to a Kentucky fan. He's a Volcat, which is the worst kind of human. I don't hate that. I don't even know why I called him a friend. He's not my friend. I don't even like him.
You can't like him. You're gonna lose followers if you do that. Can't like that guy.
Yeah, no, I don't like that guy. But he's texted me a billion times, and I just replied back, "Bitch." That's all I had.
Oh man, dude, that's a good one actually. Caleb, I feel so bad about. I'm so sorry about your grandma, dude.
Oh, you don't need to feel bad.
It's
going to make me feel bad. I think I appreciate you setting up what I would
Hey,
call
what was worse,
alley-oop with a
that
dunk.
or you and Danny Wyatt's encounter?
I got punked twice today.
Also, if it makes you feel any better, 2 minutes earlier, Landon told me about a beach trip he didn't invite me on before you made fun of my grandmother.
Yeah,
no longer being with me.
Oh,
this has been
dude.
a rough episode for Caleb. Sorry.
Yeah, surviving advance.
You've had a tough. You're probably pissed that you stayed up for this one.
Yeah, most nights I am. Yeah.
Oh man.
Kind of like in Hoover when I've got to stay up until 2 a.m. to watch us throw the first pitch
because of rain delays and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just they could organize it a little bit better.
Agreed. I will say
it's
this.
It's not a little league game.
This isn't coach speak, but you guys know that this program takes Hoover very seriously.
No, and I know. Like, I guess I know the obvious answer. I think they're, and I guess the framing of it is like we're not gonna risk, and I don't even know if risk is the right word, because like, if it comes down to a 1-run game, like you're gonna give it your best shot, whatever that best shot is, but you're not gonna do anything unnecessary. You're not gonna go out. You're not gonna put situations where you could make mistakes that could compound and whatnot. So like, I think that's the obvious one. I didn't know if that was hey, let's sit down and like, we're probably going to map this out a little bit better than we even would in Omaha. Like Omaha, we're going to go off who's our best guy that day sometimes.
Yeah.
Whereas like, hey, let's map this out because we've got regionals turn around where we're playing in regionals. So I guess that was more not, are you throwing the game? I know that answer. And I mean, Tony's won it twice now. Like there's no, he can't, I mean, if he told us he didn't care about Hoover,
he'd be lying.
I would ask him to not care about anything and see what happens.
Can you not care about winning the SEC every year?
Right.
Yeah, guys, I'm excited. I hope both of your predictions come true. Those are good. Those are good years in this league. It's a tough league.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
I hope everyone fans hard.
I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to be there. Probably won't be there if it was any day besides Valentine's Day. I'd probably make it, but
that's okay. You're just not going to see my kid or my wife.
There'll be plenty. I'll
stayed up this whole episode. He's just hanging. He feels bad about your grandma. I feel horrible.
I didn't even think about him hearing that.
He's gonna make me feel.
He raised you. I'm gonna have Greg Vitello call you and chew you out too.
I'm gonna get a old. It's gonna be Greg Vitello-esque after. Yeah, and then he'll tell my mom, and she'll be I'm gonna say a couple Hail Marys for Caleb.
Are you trying to make me feel bad? Don't do that.
But Landon, like I said, he executed unbelievably well. I mean, I threw you that layup and you whacked that thing, dude.
I put it just like I will for the rim jobs. I put it between the legs.
You hit that.
As soon as you said it, I looked at Caleb and I saw the little smile on his face, and I was like,
"Got him." He said, "Got him."
I couldn't decide if I should drop it on you or not, but hey, there's no time like the present.
Are you you're not coming to opening day, which why would you? It's just been on the schedule for like 10 months.
Brother, I can't afford season tickets, so I'm few and far between. Like, I mean, I might be there in April. I don't know.
I think I'm just gonna sell my tickets and like maybe trade them with somebody that's not as I don't know. That sits way higher than me.
Text me if you need one. You need one?
I got you. For this weekend?
How many do you need? 2?
I can't this weekend. I'm closing on a house, dog.
Whoa, Hardin Valley?
Friday. Buddy, no, I'm glad I don't live out there.
Maryville.
Come on,
Maryville.
the Hawks.
Maryville.
Yeah, you just right down Pellissippi.
Right down Pellissippi, dude.
You want to, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but big Food Network guy. So like, when I'm on the road, like on the planes right now, like I watch all the Food Network. You know that like Maryville is one of the sneakiest spots for like Michelin star chefs to open restaurants. There's like,
I mean, I know of a few, so that doesn't, I guess it doesn't shock me.
So I tried to get a reservation because I was prepared unlike Landon, so I do my Valentine's Day on Thursday.
Yep.
And I couldn't get a reservation in a couple of them.
Mm.
So I'm going to Farragut.
We're at. Are you on a your spot? This
hold
ain't come
on.
out. This ain't coming out till Friday, so you're good.
No, my wife texted me. I'll text
Calling in the
you guys.
reliever.
Yes, your turn.
Yeah, she did. But we got grandparents here, so gotta take advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I know you're weight loss season, but Maryville, if your food, this isn't a 5-star Michelin restaurant by any means, but if you like donuts, I live about a minute away from Richie Cream Donuts,
Okay.
the best donuts on planet Earth. I'll get you some.
How far from the airport are you?
I mean, 5
20
minutes maybe.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, so you're like, yeah.
I gotta go up like on 640 wraparound's probably the fastest, but yeah, I don't know, maybe like 7 minutes.
Would you guys come west and play Dead Horse?
Yeah, I work right.
Yeah.
I work in Maryville, so I'm in.
Well, Maryville, I'm talking about Dead Horse.
Yeah, he just say we can go right up 640.
Oh,
yeah.
So
640,
you're saying
140. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm in.
Or we can go
to Guani because you guys are right there.
To the home course.
I think we go to the home course.
Yeah.
We can go both. I've never played Dead Horse. I would like to play at least once.
Hey, number 3 is fun. Especially if you got some stick. Pause.
I haven't played it. I don't.
You can't. Oh, so you're going to have to chip it. You're going to have to go 6 iron.
Yeah, I'm going to have to lay up. Yeah. Yeah, just,
where are you hitting your driver,
rub it in.
Landon?
Me? Oh.
Anywhere between like 160 and 310.
Well, you're probably going to need to carry like 265.
Yeah, I can carry that. I don't know if it's going straight, but I can carry 265.
Well, you want to go right. You don't want to go left.
Okay. You're speaking Landon's language.
Yeah. I got a big slice, so.
Nice. Nice. This is good. This is like after hours.
Yeah.
This is getting inappropriate. We've talked about a lot of things, but
yeah.
All right. Well, I will text you guys separately when I play the game tomorrow, or you can wait for it. It's up to you. When I play the schedule game.
Oh yeah. Wait. Text us separately.
Like you guys in a group chat, but not on the pod, not on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't want other people to know. I just want you guys to know.
Okay.
Well, we're going.
Yeah, I'm in.
We're going over at the end of the season, right?
Yeah, for everybody, but we can go closest to the pin. We can go closest to the pin for us 3.
Yeah, I'll. Do you want me to map it out then? I might.
Well, you guys should have what you actually think it is.
Yeah, let me map. I'll run through and map it out. I'll be very wrong, but I'll do it.
No, and then we go, and then here's what I'll do. We're gonna go schedule game, so each game wins loss, and then you're gonna go. Let's go 3 contributing X factors, like 3 things that have to happen for that record to happen, and then let's do 2 bold predictions on top of that. That's what I'll do.
Okay.
So, like, my example would be Cal Stark hits 15 home runs would be a bold prediction.
Okay.
Or you could go bold prediction. Well, I'm trying to think of last year's schedule. Did they play Missouri last year? We don't play Georgia this year, so bold prediction would be on the road at Athens sweep. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
I love this. I'm in, but can we add to this theoretically? We don't have to. We don't have to like. Let's add to this. Just theoretically speaking, don't agree to anything yet till you hear it. But maybe each game, call Landon or myself and just let us know who the starter is and how they're looking that game.
Sure.
We may or may not be standing at a ticket counter, putting in a bet of some form.
Sure.
But if you could also do that. Maybe. No, don't have to lock in anything.
Well, it's Joey, right?
Yeah.
Joey
Boots. He's boots on the ground.
You want me to get
his editing this 2.5 hours of just pure clown of me.
Oh, there's no editing. Don't worry.
Yeah, we don't edit anything. That's the greatest thing about us.
Unless you tell me to take something out, it's going. And even then, I'm a capital J journalist. I may not do that.
We don't have time for that.
I'm transparent.
Buddy, I got to get up well before the bell in New York.
I will not be. My first meeting tomorrow is 11. We're gonna go over some pitch calling.
Let's go win some baseball games.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it, dude. I'm fired up. Let's do it. It's good to be back in Orange. I'm glad that we get to preview this because it wasn't as fun when I was at Houston, even though I did enjoy my time at Houston. I think again, let me finish the pod how I started it. Last year, oh my gosh, never should it leave the hearts of Vols fans. New team, new year, new identity. Give them a chance to get that.
Turn the page.
They deserve. This team has earned the right through their work to be given the benefit of a doubt as far as like some time to find themselves. Because if they do, and hopefully it's sooner than later, obviously, but when they do, it could be a good group.
Love it. 26 in your program's number one in your heart, Ross Kivett.
26 because they didn't have 77 to throw on one of the fat kid jerseys. Oh man! All right, boys. I appreciate it. Wow,
appreciate it.
Up a lot of your time.
Yeah, we loved it. Appreciate it. Good luck Friday and the rest of the season. Won't be the last time. We'll do it throughout.
Go Vols.
No, it won't. Appreciate you. See you.
See you, brother.